brought to you live via London and New York City. This is Bombers Game Mike, but it is not only Bombers Game Mike, because I am joined this evening by my co-host, play-by-play, and co-color analyst for the evening, Liam of Jolly Good Takes, everybody's favorite and preeminent San Francisco Giants fan in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as well as here on YouTube calling the play-by-play. So I hope you all are having a marvelous evening here. And Liam, introduce yourself to the fine folks. Liam, everybody, from Jolly Good Takes.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hope you're well. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. I hope nothing too bad's happened. I'm Liam. I'm from Jolly Good Takes. I'm a Giants fan from the UK. It's approaching 1 a.m. where I am, but I love baseball that much that I'm here today to do it with an amazing man, Paul D, as I'm sure all you guys know, here on Bombers Game Mike.
And cheers to you, Liam, and Jolly Good Takes, and the good people of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as we get ready to call, for all intents and purposes, the Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game, live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the Eastern Time Zone. I hope you all are having a marvelous evening, and welcome to Game Mike. Join the Game Mike roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. Scheduled first pitch here is set to begin at 7 p.m. Central Time out in the home St. Louis base. Of course, I am not there at the moment. However, it will begin shortly after 7 p.m. first pitch. Now, let me give you the starting lineup tonight for the dueling American and National Leagues. For the visiting, in quotes, visiting American League tonight, at leadoff in center field is Mike Trout. Batting second at DH is Alvarez. Batting third at catcher is Shea Langoliers. Batting cleanup at the hot corner is Junior Caminero. Batting fifth at shortstop is Bobby Witt Jr. Batting sixth out in right field is Cody Bellinger. Batting seventh at first base is Ben Rice. Batting eighth in left field is Green, and batting ninth at second is Clement. Now for the technically home NL All-Stars tonight. Batting first at DH is Kyle Schwarber. Batting second out in left field is Juan Soto. Batting third at first base is Freddie Freeman. Batting cleanup at shortstop is Abrams. Batting fifth out at third base is Muncy. Batting sixth at second is Albies. Batting seventh out in right field is March. Batting eighth in center field is Andy Paes. And batting ninth at catcher is Baldwin. And that's the starting nine. And going tonight for the American League is the right-hander from the Toronto Blue Jays, Dylan Cease. And starting tonight for the home National League, starting in front of his very own fans in his very own home ballpark, is none other than the left-hander Christopher Sanchez, both of which have put up outstanding numbers here. As I get the box up there from Game Day here real quick, Liam, feel free to take the reins for a moment.
No, us Giants fans will know well that Dylan Cease, he can certainly throw well, because he almost threw a no-hitter last week against the San Francisco Giants. But no, I'm looking forward to this one. Christopher Sanchez right up there in the Cy Young Award race in the National League. And then Dylan Cease, the big free money signing in the offseason, going to the Toronto Blue Jays. Just wanted to shout out a few people in the chat as well. Evening to everyone. Ethan, JB doing JB things, Spencer, Zim Zim. Shout out to you guys spending your evening with us. We do appreciate it. And also, everybody, I know Paul D, he always asks, list where you're watching from. Have we got any international folks out there as well? If anyone's watching from across the seas, let me know as well, because I would love to see that as well.
By all means. Yeah, absolutely. Keep going, my friend. No, believe me, right now, this is really helpful. I'm trying to get this all together here last moment.
And also, if you've ever got questions about what life is like in the UK, feel free to drop them in. I'm happy to answer them. But we won't talk about cricket because this is a baseball channel, not a cricket channel. So leave the cricket questions at the door. But no, Spencer, how are you? How's everyone's evening? Hope you've all had a great day.
By all means.
I'm just going to shout out some more people here. Tate, what's up, Tate? 411 Shirley, evening to you as well. And we are about ready as Mike Trout right now is signing a note with a quill. And that's what's going on right now for our viewers.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to invoke some Declaration of Independence vibe being in Philadelphia, and of course it being so recently Independence Day. Now here's Alvarez, the two-hitter. He's signing his second spot there in the box score in the lineup. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. I don't know who came up with this idea, but it is actually kind of funny.
Yes, and it was just the 250th anniversary, right, of America.
Yes, so. Indeed. It was quite an Independence Day. Up in my neck of the woods, literally at that night, my wife and I went out driving. We had to go and run a quick errand at Walmart that night. And when we did so, there were literally fireworks going off, of the largest variety in every visible direction. And in the sky, there was actually like a heavy cloud of the gunpowder from all the fireworks, and the smell from all over was just way down with the smell of fireworks and gunpowder. It was incredible.
Yeah.
All very safe
Savvy,
and a lot of fun.
Savvy, what's up? I saw you in my stream earlier. Welcome, Savvy, to Bombers Game, Mike, and this special edition. And Paul D, I thought it's mentioned we'd talk about the uniforms for this game.
Yeah, that it is interesting. The whole uniform thing, there's a whole big pregame here, guys. So it's not like the usual deal where wham, bam, boom. You have a really steady, scheduled first pitch ready to go. Tonight they're really drawing it out here, and we're going to get the signature from every one of the starting 9, starting with the American League from 1 to 9 and the National League from 1 to 9. But yeah, it's something interesting. I don't know when they gave this up, but is it me or have they abandoned like the unique All-Star Game jersey thing that they would at least wear on the workout day and the home run derby? And if so, when did that happen? I don't quite remember.
I remember, I think last year they wore All-Star uniforms. Definitely 2024 in Seattle, they definitely wore uniforms. I'm pretty sure they wore them last year. If you know better than we do, let us know. But pretty weird that they're going back to the regular uniforms. But I don't know what you think, Paul D. At least if a neutral's coming in, they actually know which team the player's from, not just by the cap nowadays, but by the jersey as well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because just from a pure business point of view, I find it fascinating that they would abandon that, that piece to sell. And the thing is, a lot of times, actually, I really liked the All-Star jerseys that they would wear, specifically on the workout day and the home run derby day, because some of them were really, really well designed. I remember back in 2009 when the last time the game was hosted in St. Louis at Busch Stadium, which at that point was only 3 years old, and they had a really excellent arch there over the letters. It was very much a red and white oriented color scheme, as you might imagine, and it aged really, really well. And so I'm a little surprised they've given it up. I mean, I know for the actual game themselves, they want all the players wearing all of their normal jerseys, right? And I'm glad they do that, because there's a lot of really good-looking ones out there, even for teams I don't like. But I just find it interesting that that's been given up, unless I've missed something here. Because when I was watching the Home Run Derby last night, as far as I can tell, like when I was watching Jordan Walker doing, Jordan Walker things there to win the Home Run Derby, the only thing that was unique about it was the letters and numbers had these red, white, and blue thematic thing going on, which I've seen before in other places, at least I think I did. And so I was really surprised not to see that unique top. But it's just a disappointment because they usually incorporated some of the best colors and design aesthetics from the city that was hosting it. And I don't know, that's just me, but I tend to be a little sentimental on the jersey front, admittedly.
I know Spencer's saying next year's in Wrigley Field, so that should be good as well. Wrigley, obviously, one of the best ballparks in all of America.
It is, something that I've said here on stream here, and the regulars here at Game Mike will know, is that when it comes to the two antique ballparks between Fenway and Wrigley Field, I vastly prefer Wrigley Field. And it has actually really very little to do with the Red Sox whatsoever. It just has to do with the fact that Wrigley Field doesn't feel as claustrophobic to me. And that's kind of a big deal. Not that I have it, I have it hot and heavy by any means, but it is certainly something I keep in mind. Let's see here. So we're still a little ways away here from scheduled first pitch, and we'd like to thank you all so much for joining us here on Game Mike tonight in this celebration of the national pastime here on Game Mike at the All-Star Game, and thank you all so much for that. And I got the, looks like we have the whole setup there ready to go. So I got the box score in, I got the strike
It's looking
zone.
good to me.
We're all set there. And indeed, this is an audio-only thing for Paul D tonight, just because I'm on the road and the visuals aren't possible, but I think it works well enough. You get to see me in all of my Saturday evening post-cover glory for this, and that's always fun.
As Dallas Cowboys for life, what's up? Welcome to the stream.
Oh, Jimmy, yeah. Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? Oh, yeah, I feel like I've been, it's funny. Here, hold on a second. Let me adjust my I should say my microphone. So it's interesting because I know you have dabbled in from the stream from time to time, Liam. But I feel like I have to introduce my friends to you as they come about, right?
Yes, of course, yes.
In the case of Dallas Cowboys fan for life, that's Jimmy. All around good dude and very serious Cowboy fan.
All right. What's up, Jimmy?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you've been through the area at any point in time before, you most definitely know who Justin Beasley is. Justin Beasley, is one of our first citizens here on Game Mike. Oh, another person here, Thurman, who goes by the handle THR Philly 53, Uganda in the house. Thurman, once again, one of our first citizens here on Game Mike. One of the guys who have been there from very likely the very first time I streamed a Cardinal game back in May. It's always a lot of fun. JoJo Spades, one of the all-around good guys in the house. And if there are some folks from over at Jolly Good Takes, by all means, introduce them to me as well. I'd love to make their acquaintance.
Yeah, no, I can see Zim out there. Zim's a regular. Spencer, Savvy, they're all from my channel. So shout out to all of you guys. And as they trickle in, I'll also say what's up and introduce them to you, Paul D, as well. As Braylon says he's here too. Yes, Braylon, we see you out there.
Oh, Braylon Beasley. That young man is a real chip off his old man's block. Both two amazing guys that are just awesome. Just a lot of fun to have around. And Braylon, I apologize so much. I didn't see the $10 super chat you laid down just because I've been so busy trying to get this all together. So Braylon Beasley with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Braylon. You guys don't have to, the Beasleys, you guys don't have to keep doing this. You do so much for me anyway, just making this possible day after day. And, keeping order in the anarchy that is the internet. Even though I don't think we are the most unruly of bunches here at Game Mike. But thank you so much, Braylon. It is very much appreciated. And so right now, down in Philadelphia, they're going through their big pregame routine. I think they've sung the national anthem at this point. And right now, I'm getting a bunch of commercials for tomorrow's England v. Argentina.
Yeah. Big game for the British. I'm British. The whole country tomorrow is going to stop. I can't wait. Spain also got through to the final. So is it going to be England-Spain, England-Argentina? Spain-Argentina. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. If you're out there, you don't have a team to root for. I'm a little bit biased, but you should pick England. As Zim, how are me and Paul D? Paul D, how are you, first of all?
I got to say, Liam, that I'm feeling better now that things are kind of smoothing out a bit, and we kind of have a good idea of what the production's going to be, and we're steady. You have, when the time comes, you have the top of the first inning, and I'll have the bottom half. And and when one of us is doing the play-by-play, the other one is going to be doing the color commentary. And I'm really back and take it in and really analyze in depth and be able to communicate that. And so, as much as I love doing play-by-play, because, I mean, really, Liam, you and I have, like, the best gig in the world. There is nothing else that I would rather be doing at any given time than being here on Game Mic, getting to call Cardinal games, or in this case, the All-Star Game, with all of you here. I mean, it's not in any way, I guess, it's not a line, I guess is the best way to put it. It is, in reality, just like the best thing I could imagine doing that's really serious, but fun. And something where you're always trying to get better at it, and that's a really big deal. Now, here comes the honor guard, or color guard, not to be confused with the marching band high school color guard, as Patti LaBelle is about to sing.
I'm guessing this
the US
is
national
the national anthem.
Yeah.
I don't know, Paul D. I'm not listening to the game either, so.
No, I don't have the audio on myself. It's you and me and everybody in the chat. Let's go NL, according to Goldie US.
This definitely won't be NL biased. I'm just saying. No, of course it'll be NL biased. I'm Giants fan. Paul D, while he is a Yankees fan, he does Cardinals coverage. So I apologize.
The Cardinals are very dear to my heart for a good many reasons.
But any baseball fans welcome here, of course, because baseball people, they're the best people, and it's an amazing community, as Paul D says, and that's what makes streaming with you guys so much fun.
It really
amazing it is.
Because the fact of the matter is, baseball, it should be open to anybody. There is no barrier to entry here. Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Be sure to drop a like for this special All-Star Game stream. Paul D calls nearly every Cardinals game, so subscribe today. We would love you to join our community. And then Jimmy from Jordan Walker, great job last night. I could not be any more proud. I'm not going to lie, I'm still paranoid that he's going to screw up his swing for the next 3 weeks after he comes back. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm not paranoid, but once the ball started flying out of the ballpark and they were silencing Philly fans that were booing every home run and cheering every out that fell to the ground, not over the wall, it was like, okay, it's on. It's on. No more, there's no more practicalities. There's no more, worrying about your swing. It is about winning tonight.
Absolutely. And, guys, what did you make of the home run derby? I mean, I thought they changed the format. Let me know what you thought about the new format, the 20 swings instead of a timer. But I thought, there were less home runs hit than normally. But I thought it made every swing a lot more exciting than they normally do. And you kind of get a little bit more suspense between each pitch because they're not trying to hit every ball as quick as they can. So
absolutely,
I think it was a great format. And the final, it couldn't have gone any better, especially for all the Cardinals fans out there.
Yeah. Here, I feel like I'm a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little light on the volume here. I'm just bringing up my gain just slightly. Checkity 1, checkity 2. There we go. All right, so now everybody can hear me clearly, and I can hear myself clearly. When was the first home run derby that you watched, Liam, that you remember?
I want to say I don't go back that far. I'll be honest. I'm sure you go further back than me. I want to say when Pete Alonso, 2021, 22, one of those. When Pete Alonso went back to back, I think that was the first one I can remember.
Well, the one thing I can say here, and this is one of the great things about the crowd here at Game Mic, the regulars or some of the people that show up, regularly, is that not only are all baseball fans welcome, but they're always about like, hey, support your team, put in a good, support your rooting interest, just obviously behave, and they never hold it against people because they're newer to the game. And I think that's something that is, it's actually really special, and something that I'm really proud about in terms of the character this community has taken on.
Absolutely.
And that's just, how lucky can you be, right?
Exactly. If you ever want to test my history, feel free. I mean, I know a little bit, but Paul D has got way more knowledge than I do.
Well,
I'm always open to learning, as I always say.
Liam,
I love the history of baseball.
something gotta remember here, Liam, is that there is a 19-year age difference between you and I. So I've simply been around longer to watch it more. But the one thing that really impressed me when I came across you, because you came into my stream here at Game Mike, and you're like, hey, can I plug my channel? And I have no issue with that. So long as people ask in advance, I'll always back a fellow, somebody who's doing play-by-play. Just because there's no reason that we shouldn't be good to each other. And I went and I noticed, like, man, this guy has a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. And, for his young age, and especially a guy who wasn't, is not originally from the United States, he has a lot of really in-depth knowledge of baseball. But baseball is basically a lifelong education in a lot of ways. And a very fulfilling one at that. And, I think it's actually really incredible. I'm sure, your regulars in here or some of mine that may be familiar with you already. And, hey, there's John Smoltz. There we go. Now it's an All-Star Game. Let's put it this way, Liam. I remember watching him in the post-game presser after the Braves lost Game 4 and the final, the clincher of the '99 World Series to the Yankees. And I remember my dad was watching him, and he's like, man, for a guy that just got swept and, is obviously not feeling that great right now, he was a real class act. That, and my dad always, and who's not a baseball guy, a really big sports guy at all, even though he was quite insistent that I be a New York baseball fan, but that's a different story. He always referred to Randy Johnson like, hey, who is that cartoon character for the Mariners and later the Diamondbacks and then the Yankees, then the Diamondbacks, then the Giants? Is he pitching? When's the next time we see him? He's like, because he looks like a cartoon character. And in fairness, in 1995, 96, 97, he did look like one with the wild hair, those huge appendages and whole thing. Hey, Justin Verlander with his 10th All-Star selection. How about that? We're just kind of going all over the place, killing time here.
I now get to call him former Giant because he made 1 year with the Giants. And he was actually pretty good in the second half of last season. Back with the Tigers this year. The Tigers legend. But one of my favourite clips about Randy Johnson was there was the Diamondbacks versus the Giants. There was a fight on the mound. His hat comes flying off. He picks up the hat. He puts it on his head. It's not a Diamondbacks hat when he was a Diamondbacks player. It was a Giants hat. And they had to tell him, you got the wrong cap on. But that's one of my favourite memories about Randy Johnson because I never got to watch him pitch. So I've seen highlights, but I never got to watch him pitch live.
Well, here's the interesting thing, right, Liam? You and I were talking a little bit about San Diego earlier, and on the last day of the season of the year of our Lord 2009, the Giants were in San Diego playing the Padres. It was a battle for the basement of the NL East that year, and it was the first Padre game I had been to. I had been to the Dodgers-Rockies matchup up at Dodger Stadium the night before where they were battling out who was going to take the NL West and who was going to take the sole wild card. This is before the expansion of the wild card, of course. And that afternoon, because the Giant, Randy Johnson finished his career with the Giants. I think he was 45 at the time. That day in San Diego on the last day of the season, battling for the basement of the NL East that year in 2009, out of the bullpen came Randy Johnson, and I saw his last career appearance in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's
you know what I love about stuff like that? It's a cool story to tell years after years after years. And that's what I think when we watch some of the players in today's games is we're lucky enough to get to watch them today. And in 30 years, maybe you tell your kids, your grandchildren, hey, I was alive to see, this player. Whether that's, I know there's no Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge in the All-Star game today, but whether that's one of those two, or whether it's Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, those kind of players, it's just great to tell people about the players currently playing, and you pass that along to generations, and then those generations learn about the people in the past, and then they'll have their own players to grow up and watch as well. And that's the great thing about sport, is there's always the history and there's always the current active players. And no matter what era you've grown up in, you've always got to see great players in that era. And who doesn't like watching great baseball players? It's amazing.
It's true. And Harold, thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate the story. It is good to see you, Harold. How you doing tonight? And don't worry, I'm gonna be paying more attention to the chat here. We're just kind of getting our ducks in a row, as it were, and making sure everything's set up here. So this is the way I'm gonna play this tonight, as far as the sound design, guys. I know Justin Beasley, you're gonna be particularly interested in this, of course. For the NL. For every American League batter they strike out, I'm going to play, it's going to be whistle time. But here's the thing. I have to make one caveat here. That one caveat is this. Because, and if you look it up, I've always been clear on this, though not everybody has caught it. I picked those up from Yankee Stadium. So, if... for example, I don't know, Cody Bellinger strikes out. I'm not going to play that against him. I'm not going to use his own whistle against him. I think we're classier than that. But everybody else in the AL, fair game.
Yeah. I did try and convince Paul D to do it on a Yankees player, but he wasn't having any of it. But no, I'm only joking. No, you can't use the Yankees K whistle against the old Yankees team.
No, you can't. That it's not right, and it's not cool. And as Cardinal fans, we're better than that. So I'm not going to do that. In fact, actually, one moment, guys. I'll be right back. You have the solo spotlight there, Liam. So treat him well. I'll be right back.
Yes. All right. Yes. No, Spencer. I can see you say I'm pretty sure the Giants signed him so he would record 300 wins in a Giants uni, which he did. Think it was in Washington, if I remember correctly. Is Harold doing well? Burger off the grill, homemade onion rings, and the boom. Well, enjoy your onion rings, Harold. And just again, I'm going to introduce myself to those of you that do not know who I am. I'm Liam. I'm a Giants fan. I host a show called Jolly Good Takes, where we do Giants watch-alongs every day. Me and Paul D, we're amazing friends. And Paul D, he's a great streamer. I know you guys know that. And also, if you haven't hit that like button, feel free to hit that like button. It helps out the channel. And guys, drop your predictions in the chat about who you think is going to win the game today. I'm going to go with the NL winning the game today, and I'm going to go 5-4 in a close game. Is there a benefit of the NL winning this game? You know what? The only benefit of the NL winning this game is bragging rights. There's a little bit of bragging rights if the AL or the NL win. And in here, we are cheering on the NL. It's Haron. What's up, Haron? Haron's a regular in my chat. Greetings. 108 degrees in Elk Grove, California, just near Sacramento. 108. Thank God you got air conditioning there in the US, because if it was 108 over here, I think we'll all be melting down like an ice cream.
Now, who's talking about 108 degrees right now? Is
Haron.
Roger Baseman in the house? I don't see Roger. Well, interesting. I want to put one little point on that Randy Johnson story that I think you'll appreciate, Liam, and I hope everybody else too. So that game, that final game of the season between the Giants and the Padres in San Diego that year, that happened on October 4th, 2009. So, yeah, they get the last career appearance of Randy Johnson. They're battling for the basement. But you want to know what the real ignominy of that was, Liam? The game actually went to extra innings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it went 11 or something like that. Hey, CH man, Paul D, good to have you back. Definitely gave you a like. Well, hey, CH man, thank you so much for being here. Liam, you're familiar with CH man, aren't you?
Yes, of course, yes. I know a few of you guys. I mean, I try and come in Paul D streams as often as I can. I also want to just give credit to all the Giants channels out there as well, because they're a great community. Now, no, me and Paul D, I try as much as I can, but I can't always make it, just likewise as well, Paul D. I know you can't always make it to my streams as well. Because outside of this, I've got a busy life as well. It's not just streaming. As much as I would like this to be my whole life, I think we all know, sadly, baseball, it's not, well, it is real life, but it's not professional real life. As they're interviewing Mike Trout right now, it looks like we're about 5 minutes away from first pitch here, everybody. As, good of you guys hit the like button. It does help out the channel. And if we can get to a goal, I don't know what your goals normally are, but I like to set a goal. If you got a goal, Paul D. of 50 likes. If you can help us get to 50 likes, that would be much appreciated. As I see a few people dropping their score predictions in. Keep
really?
them coming. Spencer has got 4-3 National League. Ron 8-7 National League. I'm going 5-4 National League. We got anyone in the AL thinking the team AL was going to win? And it's interesting because I know they went on I think a 9-year run of consecutively winning the All-Star Game, and then the last 2 or 3 years it's been Team NL that has took victory.
Well, it's interesting because Thurman, I think I saw a little while back there. I didn't get a chance to respond at the time. Is there any consequence to either league winning it? And as far as I know, not anymore. But I know for a long time there, in the overreaction to the tie of the 2002 All-Star Game, that the winner, the league who won it, that team that represented that league in the World Series got home field advantage. By far, one of the worst ideas of all time.
Yes. No, of course. No, I was very familiar with that. I didn't think
you weren't missing anything. Justin Beasley's calling for 8-4 the American League. All righty. Fair enough. All right. Alan, 6-4 American League. It's good to see you, Alan. So it looks like we're only a couple moments away here from scheduled first pitch. Liam is going to have the call here as
Christopher Sanchez.
He's up out to the bump.
Is taking to the mound. Wearing number 61, Philadelphia. He's got the star patch on this part of the jersey, and he's picking up the rosin bag just at the back of the mound. He's 11-4 this year with a 2.62 ERA. And fun fact, he had the longest consecutive inning streak by any left-handed pitcher that he did not give up a run. In 50 and a third innings, he did not give up a single run. One of the best streaks of all time that we've ever seen from a left-hander. And Zim's going 6-2 National League as well.
All right.
All right, I think I'm seeing more National Leagues than I am AL, but there's a few of you with the AL. As they're interviewing Bryce Harper, Ken Rosenthal of, he's on Fox, isn't he? Because this game is on Fox today if you're in America. If you're not in America, I doubt any of you are, but if you're not, then this game will be on MLB TV. Or if you don't have MLB TV, it's on a platform called Sky. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but that is where you can watch it. As we've got 5-3 NL in there as well. And let us know, who are you most excited to watch today? That's always an interesting question. I've got to say, it's a shame Jacob Mizorowski's not going to pitch, because I was really excited to watch him. Did you see his glove, Paul D? Did you get a chance to see what his glove was?
His glove?
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm entirely familiar with what you're referencing there. In terms of Jacob Mizorowski, right? Right-hander, Milwaukee. No, yes. I don't recall anything about his glove. I feel like I'm missing something here. What's up?
All right, so he made a custom glove, and on the webbing between the finger and the thumb, it had a Charizard card in it. So,
that's right.
Cool.
He's really into Pokemon. That's right.
Yes. As Savvy, you're going 12-9 NL. I mean, I would love it if it was a high-scoring game. I know I can enjoy pitchers matchups, but for the All-Star game, I'm okay with a slugfest. I don't know about you, Paul D, but normally I like good pitching. There's Ronald. What's up, Ronald? Welcome to Bombers Game, Mike. Again, I'm just going to introduce myself for those of you that came in a little bit later. My name's Liam. I'm a Giants fan from the UK, and I run a channel called Jolly Good Takes. So we stream baseball games every day. And actually, right now it's baseball, but I will be doing all sports on that as well.
Here we
Mike
go.
Trout is in the batter's box, and Sanchez is ready as he's in the windup, and he will fire the first pitch as Trout fouls it off at 95 miles an hour, a sinker at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Mike Trout batting .237, 18 home runs, 39 RBIs, and 863 OPS with the Angels, and it's good to see he's finally healthy for an All-Star game as well, because he always battles injuries. As the 0-1 pitch is just high, a sinker at 95, and the count is 1-1. Mike Trout in the All-Star game. Oh,
no, please go
ahead, Paul.
No, it's just good to see him back.
4-12. Yes, exactly. Great to see Mike Trout back. As the 1-1 pitch, Sanchez will fire. That one's a nasty slider at the feet, but Mike Trout won't swing at that, and it's 2-1. Mike Trout, he's got himself in a hitter's count here. We'll see if he can put a good swing on this 2-1 pitch. As the wind-up by Sanchez, he will fire. He does swing at the 2-1 pitch. It's a sinker at the knees again. He fouls this one off, and the count is 2-2. Sanchez, he is a left-hander from Philadelphia. As we already mentioned, his main pitches are a sinker, changeup, slider. That changeup is the weapon on Sanchez. It's one of the best pitches in all of baseball. As the 2-2 pitch to Mike Trout by Sanchez is a slider right down the middle, but Mike Trout's only good enough to foul it off, and it remains 2-2.
You know, it's
so
interesting.
No outs here, bases empty.
Looking at Trout's career, just how much of it he's spent wasting away down in Anaheim. It's a kind of a tragedy.
Absolutely. As a 2-2 pitch to Mike Trout is a swing and a miss at that changeup, and as we discussed, that changeup is his go-to weapon, and that's just below the zone, and it's a beautiful pitch by Sanchez for out number 1, and Mike Trout goes down swinging. That's the best pitch, Paul D, in Christopher Sanchez's arsenal.
Oh, that sinker? Yeah, he really has made it an outstanding pitch. His ability to locate it, both sides of the zones to both righties and lefties.
As Yordan Alvarez is up batting .318, I would say he is probably the favourite for the AL MVP as he takes a sinker outside, and it's 1-0. Paul D, I don't know if you think anyone else is deserving of the MVP award, but Yordan Alvarez has been on an absolute tear to begin this season. And I do know this fact, as the 1-0 pitch to Yordan Alvarez by Sanchez is a swing and a miss at that sinker, and it's 1-1. I do know he has a higher OPS than Barry Bonds did against left-handed pitching in his career. A pretty cool fact, and obviously Barry Bonds, one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player of all time. As the 1-1 pitch to Yordan Alvarez is going to be a ground ball that's going to get through for a base hit, and that is the first hit of the All-Star game. As Yordan Alvarez with a single to centre field, that one gets through the 4-3 hole. And Sanchez then, at 9 pitches, he's allowed a base runner and 1 out. As he found the gap there, Paul D.
He certainly did. And so Alvarez, in this case, he has basically been on a half-season tear for Houston. In fact, he's the best thing that's happened to Houston all year.
As here's Shea Langeliers, nicknamed Shea Bangalies because he hits a lot of home runs. As Sanchez is going to fire way outside with a changeup there at 87 miles an hour. And it's 1-0. Don't think we're going to see many stolen bases tonight, especially by Yordan Alvarez, because not going to say much, but he's not the speedster, unlike players like Bobby Witt Jr. As the 1-0 pitch to Shea Langeliers is up and outside, and it's 2-0 there. That one misses, so he's fallen behind Shea Langeliers here, and he fell in behind Mike Trout, but he was able to get back into that count and finish him off with the nasty changeup. As yes, Alan, we did get the first whistle of the night on that first batter as Mike Trout went down swinging. As the 2-0 pitch is inside, and right now we are in danger of a walk as the count is 3-0 to Shea Langeliers, who's batting .257 for the Sacramento Athletics, or just the Athletics. I don't really know what we're going to call them, but the soon-to-be Las Vegas Athletics. As the 3-0 pitch to Shea Langeliers is going to be high and outside, a 95-mile-an-hour sinker, and that will be a walk, and there'll be runners at first and second, and an early opportunity for the AL All-Stars to take the lead.
Yeah, 4 straight out of the zone there from Sanchez is not exactly his bag usually. And, against Langeliers, he's interesting because he gets a lot of attention for his offensive prowess, but pitchers love throwing to him.
Yeah. So we are going to get the new batter, Junior Caminero, who will swing over the top of that slider. Junior Caminero, batting .279, one of the best power hitters on the Tampa Bay Rays. He's actually hit 50 home runs since this time last year. That is the 3rd most in all of baseball. As Sanchez is going to fire low, and it's 1-1. A changeup there. It does get away by the catcher, but not too far, and the runners will stay where they are. As a smile by Caminero. Now, it must be quite weird. It must be quite weird. Christopher Sanchez, a Phillies pitcher. Drake Baldwin is the catcher, a Braves catcher. So 2 NL East division rivals there. As the 1-1 pitch is low, a changeup again at 88, and it's 2-1. And Paul D, he's falling behind batters early here.
Yeah, he definitely is. And one of the interesting things about Sanchez here, I'll step back here, finish the thought in a moment.
Yep. As the 2-1 pitch to Junior Caminero is going to be a weak ground ball. That one's going to go back to Sanchez. Sanchez is going to field it himself and bare arm it as it's a wide throw, but Freeman is able to get back on first base to get the put out. The runners will advance to second and third. So second and third, 2 outs here. And that is the current scenario.
Yeah, indeed. So one of the things that's interesting about Sanchez is that this year, and going back to last year, it was a wide throw, but Freddie Freeman managed to get just back in time on that thing. Very impressive. I don't know how he did. I feel like I was pulling my groin watching it. But it's amazing that Sanchez does this all on the 3 pitches. The sinker, that changeup, and then, of course, the slider.
Yep. As the pitch here to Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be fouled off a slider at 87 miles an hour. Bobby Witt Jr., one of the only good things going on with the Royals. I believe the Royals, they're either 19 or 20 games under 500. Not a great year in Kansas City. And they had high expectations going into this season. And they've been very disappointing, to say the least. As the 0-1 pitch here to Bobby Witt Jr. by Sanchez is going to be a swing and miss at that nasty change-up at 88 miles an hour. That one started off wide. It never actually came back over the plate. But he got the chase from Bobby Witt Jr. And he is now behind 0-2. Alvarez, the runner at third. Langeliers, the runner at second. 0-2 count here to one of the best shortstops in baseball. Sanchez in the wind-up is going to fire. Change up there, down and away. And the count is 1-2. Welcome, everybody. If you're joining, I hope you're all having a good evening for this Tuesday night All-Star action between the AL and the NL. And a celebration of baseball as the 1-2 pitch to Christopher Sanchez is going to is going to be outside, and the count is 2-2. Savvy, Freeman is such a lanky dude. Yep, Freeman is old, lanky, experienced, and he made a brilliant play there at first base. And for the veterans, I bet this is a enjoyable experience. Well, I shouldn't say for the veterans, for everyone, this is an enjoyable experience. As Bobby Witt Jr. is going to take down and in, and it's going to be a full count here to him, as that one almost hit him and he had to get out the way, Paul D.
Indeed. And there sitting on deck is Cody Bellinger, who has very quietly actually had a very fine season for the Yankees. A lot more pressure on him in the absence of Aaron Judge.
Absolutely. As the 3-2 pitch to Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be high and outside, and that is going to load the bases for Team AL and for Cody Bellinger. And Paul D, do you want to call Cody Bellinger? He is a Yankee player. Do you want to do the honor of calling him
Absolutely.
Here?
Stepping into the box is tonight's right fielder, Cody Bellinger, re-signed with the Yankees following the offseason. He's hitting .254 with 11 home runs, 51 RBIs, and 766 OPS. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup against the lefty Christopher Sanchez, who has the bases loaded and 2 out. Here in the top of the first inning, no score. And they are showing, I believe, Kyle Schwarber getting loose down there underneath the bleachers for Team NL. Sanchez comes set at the stretch. He deals chop foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. And Cody Bellinger, one thing that he has very much in common with Jordan Walker is both of these guys look totally unfazed by everything. From the stretch is Sanchez. The 0-1 to Belly. Swinging strike over the top of that sinker, down and in, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So
and obviously,
bases loaded and 2 out here in the top of the first inning, no score. It's an 0-2 count. From the stretch is Sanchez. The 0-2 pitch. A sinker out and away and out of the zone. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Obviously, Bellinger, he signed a big contract in the offseason to re-sign with the New York Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Big money. I think well over $130 million. Now, here's the 1-2. Just missed off the inside corner. Getting out of the way of that one is Belly, and the count is 2-2. So, in this particular case with Bellinger, he tends to excel in these kind of situations. Granted, a lot of time you're not facing a guy like Christopher Sanchez. There's 27 pitches. Sanchez comes set. The pitch. Hit on up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Scoring is Alvarez. Here comes a throw. Here comes Langoliers. He will score. And that will give the AL a 2-0 lead on the RBI. 2 RBI single by Cody Bellinger, and the American League has a 2-0 lead. And in that case, it was just a sinker that was left out over on the outer third and about belt high, and Belly just went right back up the middle of it, just to the right of second out into center field. And he is awfully pleased with himself. Still runners on first and third, and now back to Liam. Actually, rather, this is Ben Rice.
Yeah, it's Ben Rice, yeah.
And there's a strike from Christopher Sanchez down Broadway to Ben Rice, the left-hander. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Runners on first and third with 2 out. 2 already in following the RBI single to center by Belly. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 hit on up the middle and through for a base hit. Scoring easily is Bobby Witt Jr., and that will give the American League a 3-0 lead. Oh, a 3-0 lead for the AL here in the top of the first inning. Runners on first and second with 2 out. And now back to Liam. The Yankees have come and gone.
Yeah, no more Yankees players. They're annoying me. They're doing too good. 2 base hits. As actually Cardinal player Riley O'Brien is warming up in the bullpen for the National League.
God. Everybody duck.
You Cardinals fans know, I know a few of you out there come in my channel and say, I always complain about the Giants bullpen. They tell me the Cardinals bullpen is just as bad. As we will see then if Sanchez can finish the inning himself. Already at 30 pitches here. Not got the sharp command as he normally does. It's kind of to be expected in the All-Star Game. I mean, I don't know how seriously these players take it. As Riley Green of the Detroit Tigers fouls that pitch off, and the count is 0-1. Riley Green batting .288, 13 home runs, 45 RBIs, and an .842 OPS. This is his 3rd straight All-Star selection. As the 0-1 pitch to him is going to be down outside. A slider at 88 miles an hour, and the count is 1-1. Riley Green, he's someone that started the season really, really slow, but he's turned it on in the month of June and got himself into the All-Star game. As the 1-1 pitch to Riley Green is going to be a swing and a miss at a sinker at 95 miles an hour. That one caught a lot of the zone, but it did get the swing over the top of it, as that sinker should do, as it has that little bit of downwards movement, unlike a 4-seam fastball. So 1-2 count here to Riley Green. Christopher Sanchez will fire a pitch. There's a swing and a miss at a changeup at 88 miles an hour, and that will be the second whistle today. But 3-0 Team AL, as the both Yankees players, they go back-to-back with base hits, 3-0. And the NL, they've got some work to do. We'll see if they can respond here in the bottom of the first. Dylan Cease is going to come out for Team AL.
Dare I say, back-to-back and belly-to-belly. Excellent wordplay there.
Yes. Rob, what's up, Rob? I know you're a regular over in my channel. How are you doing, Rob? How's your Tuesday been? I hope you're enjoying the coverage of the All-Star game. And let's hope it's a high-scoring game now. 3 runs in the top of the first. If NL's going to, Team NL's going to come back and win this, they've got to, you know what, Paul D, I don't know if you talk about this, but the most important inning in the baseball game to me is the inning after a team scores. If you're the team that scores, you put up 2 or 3, and then you give those right back. It's a momentum killer. If you can get that shutdown inning right after scoring, that's I find the most important inning in a game. It just puts pressure on the opposing team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, going for tonight for the American League is Dylan Cease. And, you know, he has, has a really plus, turbo slider. He throws a pretty good sinker. You know, he'll throw a 4-seam fastball here and there. His command has improved a lot. He's interesting because he obviously signs the big, $210 million deal worth over 7 years in the offseason with Toronto. But he also had a couple of years there, I think, 23 and 24, where he had, an ERA around 4.5, something like that. So he's really been he's one of those guys who gets to age 30 and he kind of puts it all together. And so it's kind of a big deal for him to get here. Now, I know as far as both of the starters tonight, both of them are both very worthy of starting the All-Star game. But if it were truly a matter of representing the league, as opposed to other priorities which take precedent, naturally, for the National League, we'd have Jacob Misiorowski facing off there against Cam Schlittler for the Yankees. One, I believe, threw yesterday, and one was not going to throw on their throw day. And I get that, but we're not losing anything here. It's interesting. I wonder how amped up Christopher Sanchez is coming into tonight, facing the American League, in his home ballpark. You have to imagine a guy like that, who's already super competitive anyway, is going to be all about that. Now, due up for the National League is Kyle Schwarber, Juan Soto, and Freddie Freeman. He'll face Dylan Cease, a four-seamer, a slider, a changeup, a knuckle curve, a sinker, and a sweeper.
He's got it all.
Indeed. A little over a third of the time, he'll throw that four-seam fastball, followed by the slider. Those are his big two, and he does a very fine job of it. He is wearing the road grays for Toronto. Stepping into the box is Schwarber. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on, bottom of the first inning. Cease looks in. He winds. The first pitch is Schwarber. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. Shea Langoliers there is behind the dish catching Dylan Cease. Cease looks in. He winds. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball down Broadway. Swinging underneath that one was Schwarber, and the count is 0-2.
I just see there, they've got an earpiece in Dylan Cease's ear. So I'm wondering if they're talking to him while he's pitching.
He comes one. The 0-2 foul straight back on the four-seam fastball up and away, and the count remains 0-2. Man, because I've missed some games this week with the move and having to take my wife to the ER. Stitches, folks. Stitches, for those who have asked. Got a little mishap with the box cutter. Now, here's the 0-2. A knuckle curve down and in and out of the zone, and the count is 1-2. My voice has been falling out. And on nights where I don't sleep that well before, my voice tends to be weaker. It's just a weird idiosyncratic thing. It's a 1-2 count. Coming one, Cease. The 1-2 pitch. He popped him up out in foul territory, giving chases. Langolier near the home on deck circle. It goes about 3 or 4 rows deep, and the count remains 1-2.
No, it's funny you say that. My voice goes sometimes too. I've never had that issue, but calling games every day, it can catch up to you.
Yeah, and if you fall out of practice or fall out of rhythm for any period of time, you can lose it real fast. Dylan Cease is 6-4 on the year, 2.56 ERA, 148 strikeouts. He winds the 1-2 to Schwarber. Bounced out in front of home plate. It looks like the knuckle curve, and the count comes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
As I'm just reading the chat, some of you are talking about Luis Arias getting traded. For the Cardinals fans wondering, yes, he's getting traded. But I think you'll be all good because you got JJ Weatherholt.
Oh, and we are so happy about that. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking, goes Schwarber for the first out of the inning. So that's the first out here. Going down with the forwards K is Kyle Schwarber.
Team AL started with a strikeout. Team NL started with a strikeout. Can Team NL get the 3 runs like Team AL did?
That remains to be seen. Now, here's a lefty, Juan Soto, hitting .290 with 21 home runs and 51 RBIs and .967 OPS in 78 games. Righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch is Soto. Knuckle curve strike on the outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Now, Juan Soto is having not the usual Juan Soto year. The 0-1 pitch. Strike, change up on the inner third above the knees, and the count is 0-2. He usually is above 300, really raking. But he, like the Mets, are having not the year they had hoped for. Coming one, the 0-2 pitch. Popped up there behind home plate and out of play, and the count is 0-2. And I think
we've seen a...
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, by all means.
I think we've seen as Juan Soto, his career's gone along. He started off with the Nationals. He was very much the average guy. The older he gets, he seems to be trading some of that average for a little bit more power. As
the 0-2 pitch, swinging strike 3, down, heck and goes Soto for the second out of the inning.
And it looks like Dylan Cease is throwing the same stuff he had against the Giants because he is nasty right now.
Yeah, you can see he has really good downhill action and excellent horizontal action on top of that thing. When Juan Soto misses a four-seamer on the outer third like that, swinging underneath it, you have some very good four-seam fastball. Now the first pitch to Freeman. Swinging strike underneath the changeup, down and away, and the count is 0-1. Freddie Freeman, 290 with 15 home runs, 49 RBIs, and 862 OPS. It's a righty-lefty matchup. It's an 0-1 count. Langoliers comes set inside to Freeman. Cease steals. Foul down the third base side and out of play, and the count is 0-2.
They showed the umpire cam there. I'm not a fan of the umpire cam. I've got to be honest. I only like it on the replay.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
I think. And Dylan Cease, I was telling you earlier about this, Liam. He looks like he could have been on a 70 A's team. Cease winds. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball, and the count remains 0-2.
No, he's an interesting guy. I mean, you were talking about it. A couple of years in San Diego, his ERA was a bit inflated. He's always had the strikeouts. It's just about getting the outs, which is the most important thing. And he's been struggling, but this year bouncing back.
Here comes Juan, the 0-2 pitch. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-2.
As I see out there, does anyone think Rafi Devers gets out? To answer that question, absolutely not. His contract's way too big. Unless the Giants pay down most of it, which I don't see them doing, I don't think he will get traded.
Cease to the full line. The 1-2 to Freeman. A changeup down and in and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So I'd like to thank you all very much for joining us here on part of your Tuesday evening here in the Midsummer Classic. It is a 3-0 AL lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Cease winds, Cease steals. Foul tipped on the changeup, up and away, and the count remains 2-2.
To Freeman with a bit more of a competitive at-bat here than the first 2 hitters.
You know, Freddie Freeman, you can't hate the guy because he's such a good dude. But, man, I still have nightmares seeing that grand slam home run back in Game 1 of the 2024 World Series.
Yeah.
Langoliers sets up on the outer third. The 2-2. Hit on out down the third base side. Giving chase, it goes into the stands. The count remains 2-2.
I mean, you could argue Freddie Freeman's one of the best World Series hitters of all time. He always delivers in the World Series. And he's famous for don't pitch him down and in the playoffs because he will get a base hit if you pitch him down and in.
Yeah, that classic lefty swing path. You don't play around down there, especially not to a guy like Freddie Freeman. Dylan Cease comes to the full line, the 2-2. A sinker off the inside corner ruled a ball, and the count is full 3-2. So there's nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the first inning. 3-0 American League. It's a 3-2 count here, with Dylan Cease up against Freddie Freeman. Coming wide, and the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on the knuckle curve, well up and away. So a 2-out walk worked there by Freeman. And that'll put a runner on first for the NL with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 20 pitches for Cease.
Yep. By the way, Wilson, what's up, Wilson? How are you? How's your Tuesday? Good to see you in the chat. Welcome to Bombers Game, Mike, as well, for all those guys who are
Stepping into the box is the shortstop, C.J. Abrams, a left-hander. It's a righty-lefty matchup. For the first time from the stretch is Cease. The first pitch to Abrams. Check swing on the knuckle curve down and in. Did he go? No, says Blue down the third baseline, and the count is 1-0. No, it's...
I gotta say...
Yeah, go ahead, please.
On the check swings, I find it interesting. You think, how did he miss that call? When you actually see how quick it goes, it's a very difficult job.
From the stretch is Cease. The 1-0. A slider inside, up and in, and the count is 2-0.
So, Haron, I can see you in there. Apologies, Paul D.
No, don't worry about it at all.
He says, are you a Cardinals fan? He does Cardinals streams, but he is technically a Yankees fan.
I am both in the extreme. From the stretch is Cease. The 2-0 pitch. Check swing on a 5-14 fastball up and in. It is foul, and the count is 2-1. No, for those of you that are not familiar with me, the regulars know this. They understand this. They've understood this since day one. Yes, I was born and raised a Yankee fan. But for the last 20 years, my 1A team has been the Cardinals, and I live in St. Louis, so it is also now my new home team. The 2-1. Foul down the third base side, giving chase into the stands, and the count comes even at 2-2. So
I think C.J. Abrams wants that one back.
Cease is just one strike away here from getting Abrams to end this inning. Freddie Freeman leads off first with 2 out. He picks up the rosin bag, looking to get a little extra grip there on the baseball, in addition to some sweat and maybe some suntan lotion. He steps off the bag, and we get to wait for the 2-2 offering all over again.
Yep, and I believe the managers for this are Dave Roberts for the NL, and I believe John Schneider for the AL. I could be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's his name.
He sets at the belt. The 2-2 offering. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Abrams for the third and final out of the inning. No runs on no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. After 1 full inning of play, it is 3-0 American League going to the top of the second inning. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes, and this is Bombers Game Mike.
And I believe Dylan Cease just struck out the side. So 3 strikeouts there in between the walk to Freddie Freeman. As we will see if Riley O'Brien can keep the National League team in the game by getting a shutdown inning here. If he's coming in. I'm assuming he's coming in. I could be wrong about that one. But I tend to think on these All-Star games, right pitchers only go 1 inning in these All-Star games.
Yeah, I mean, the old formula used to be that the starters would come in, they'd have full rest, and they would go a maximum of 3 innings if it were smooth. But I don't think that's happened in a while, unfortunately. But,
yeah,
that's all right.
So if you're just joining us then, 3-0. The Yankees, Ben Rice and Cody Bellinger, with 3 RBIs between them. And that is how the Team AL are up 3-0 through 1 inning, as Dylan Cease did strike out the side there in the bottom of the first. We will see if we can get a good inning of pitching here for Team NL, as that's who I'm rooting for today. Even though I won't be too upset who wins, because it's just a fun game.
Now, going to the chat here, Harold, Cardinals and Yankees, as am I. No kidding, Harold. My grandfather was a Cardinals-Yankees fan, and it rubbed onto me. I still have his 78 Yankees ball cap. And 78 was a magical year, coming all the way back on the Red Sox. Yeah, I think the Yankees were something back like 13 games in August, and they went to the 1-game playoff up there, the famous Bucky Dent home run. I'm sure you've seen highlights of that, Liam, from the 78 1-game playoff. The Yankees then go on to beat the Dodgers for the 2nd World Series in a row, because they'd beat them in 77. Of course, the Dodgers would then go on to beat them in the 81 series, and then many, many years later in the 2024 series. But
and am I right in saying the Yankees won 6 in a row? Is that correct?
6
World
in
Series.
Oh, so there was a point in time where they won 5 in a row in the 1950s.
5.
Yeah.
On
the Casey Stengel Yankees of the 50s, and those were incredible teams, But I consider myself profoundly lucky, because for me, I feel like there's a necessity to some degree to kind of inherit your teams in one way or another. And I inherited in the most special of ways both my Yankee fandom and the Cardinal fandom. And the one who's very much responsible for bringing me in the fold, even though I had a very strong admiration for the Cardinals before ever meeting her, Mrs. Game Mike, was very, very much a strong part of that. And I don't think that fandom could have been taken on fully had it not been her. All right, we're back for the top of the second inning. You got the call.
We will see who the new pitcher is. It's Eduardo Rodriguez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's a check swing to the first baseman, Freddie Freeman. Freeman will step on the first himself, and that's a 1 pitch out as Ernie Clement goes down on just a 3 ground out. I mean, not much more to it than just a scoop pickup, a few steps over to first base to his left. As there's Justin Verlander, one of 2 pitchers to win Rookie of the Year and a Cy Young. As he looks happy. He looks like he's ready for retirement, which he did announce.
Standing right next there to Cam.
as here's Mike Trout at the top of the AL lineup, as there's a called strike with a cutter on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Yep, Cam Strickler and Justin Verlander there. You could argue
Birds
one
of a
guy's
feather.
going to go into retirement, and the next guy is going to step up in his place, as the pitch to Mike Trout is high, and the count is 1-1. Eduardo Rodriguez, a left-hander. He was originally with the Detroit Tigers. Then he did get traded to the Dodgers, but he didn't want to go to LA, as the 1-1 pitch is bounced in the dirt, and the count is 2-1. He had a no trade clause, and he refused to go to LA before signing with the Diamondbacks in the offseason. He had a rough first year, but he's bounced back brilliantly here to make this All-Star game in his second year, as the 2-1 pitch to Mike Trout is just high, and the count is 3-1. And what's going on with these NL pitchers? They are not getting in good counts here to begin this game, as there's Jacob Mizorowski, one of the most fun guys in all of baseball.
Yeah, the Miz is great.
As the 3-1 pitch to Mike Trout is going to be a little bloop. That one's going to bounce in front of Ozzie Albies. Albies will fire it across to Freddie Freeman for out number 2, and a couple of ground outs here for Eduardo Rodriguez, who that's what he does. He's not a big strikeout guy. He's more of a ground ball, weak contact, pop-up kind of hitter.
Yeah, he had a very impressive start against the against the Redbirds in St. Louis a couple of weeks ago, and was very impressive.
The pitch here to Yordan Alvarez, who's 1-for-1 today, is going to be a cool strike on the outside corner, a sinker perfectly placed there. As I see a few guys putting it in there. When a pitcher loses all control, we call it Bull City on my channel, because they can't throw strikes and there's too many balls. As the 0-1 pitch to Yordan Alvarez is a little high fly ball to left field. That ball is going to be caught by Juan Soto, who's coming in to make the catch, and they gave your voice no rest, because that was a quick 1-2-3 inning for Eduardo Rodriguez.
No rest for the wearies. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 1.5 innings of play, it is 3-0 American League going to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes, and this is Bombers Game Mike.
As Bob, what's up, Bob? A regular as well. How are you, Bob? I'm doing great. Really enjoying this stream so far. It's really entertaining. Paul D's a great guy, and you know what nice about it is when you stream every day and it's just you, it gets a bit tiring, and it's nice to bounce off a conversation and talk to the game, and share our thoughts. As what's up, Jojo?
Yeah, JoJo Spades. 1964, Cleet and Kenny Boyer, Howard, Maris, Mantle, Pepitone, Gibson, Brock, Bill White, Dick Groot, Flood, Shannon, so many more. Hard to stop that World Series as far as talent. 64 series were the real deal. They beat the Yankees that year in the series, and just really cool stuff. And I saw something here. Heron of Blue, Paul D. Who's my Premier League team? I would say that if I were to be very clear on that, I'd have to say it's Chelsea. I don't die hard bleed the Chelsea blue, but I got my kits. I like them.
Yeah.
I've done my laps around Stamford Bridge.
I know Zim in our chat's also a Chelsea fan, so but I think you're baseball before football, or soccer as you guys call it, definitely.
Yeah. Harold Mattingly was one of my heroes as a kid. What a great player. Donnie Baseball, he was incredible. And it was so great to see him make it finally to the postseason there in '95 in his last year with that first wild card berth that existed after, the big strike that, torpedoed '94. It was, it was a tough go, but hey, you know what? Donnie Baseball is one of the class acts, and one of those guys that, he's obviously managing for the Phillies right now, and he's done a great job since taking over there, really turning that team around from a horrific start. Donnie Baseball is just one of those class acts, and that you wish he could have stayed healthier longer in his career, or else he may have very well made it to the Hall of Fame.
And he's one of those guys where if you meet anyone, they'll say, if they get asked, who's the guy you want to see win a World Series, whether that's as a coach or now would have to
now
be a
here
coach.
Comes the lefty Parker Mesk, 8-5 with a 2.73 for Cleveland, a whip of 1.07. Stepping into the box is Muncy. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. He comes one. The first pitch. There's a fly ball down out towards left field. It's actually a pop-up around third base. Underneath it is Caminero. He squeezes it for the first out of the inning. Junior Caminero there on the pop-out from Muncy, and that's the first out of the inning. No, I had no idea, Justin, that you had met Donnie Baseball. And that's right. Yeah, he is from Evansville, Indiana. I can't believe I missed that. I mean, I'm curious, Justin, what were your impressions of him? You know, him being one of the hometown heroes. Now, here is Albies. It's a lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Messick. Strike, curveball on the inner third, and the count is 0-1.
And I just came up with this little fact while I'm thinking here. So Messick, he also took a no-hitter into
the 0-1 pitch. Hit to the left side. Field on a couple of hops by Witt. He throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. So he bounces out 6-3 for the second out.
So both these pitchers for Team AL have taken no-hitters into the ninth this season. A cool little fact that I was just thinking about while Paul D was commentating there.
Let's put it this way: you have a very natural very natural color commentary sense about you, because you're always pulling up these statistics and these references to earlier in the years. Now here's a lefty, Brandon Marsh, 92 games, 301, 15 home runs, 46 RBIs for the Phillies. It's a lefty-lefty matchup against Cleveland's Messick. Messick winds the first pitch. That fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball, and the count is 0-1.
He also has that really funky release point with the left arm. He hides it for as long as possible, and then it just comes out like a cannon.
Absolutely. He comes one. The 0-1 pitch. A slider up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. So nobody
on.
Bob
asked, sorry, Paul D.
I was going to say, nobody on with 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 American League. Messick comes one. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider, down and away, swinging over the top of that one, and the count is 1-2.
I was just going to say, Bob had a question last night. Yes, it's all good, Bob. Don't worry.
Good to go. Back onto the bump is Messick. The 1-2 pitch. Just missed the inside corner, just a bit off the plate, ruled a ball, and the count is 2-2.
And Messick's one of those pitchers. He doesn't get talked about a lot over there in Cleveland, but another one of those Cleveland players has been developed brilliantly.
He winds the 2-2. A slider out and away and out of the zone, slightly over the righty batter's box, and the count comes full, 3-2. So nobody on 2 out, bottom of the second inning, 3-0 American League. It's a 3-2 count. Messick looks in to Marsh. He winds the 3-2. Foul down the third base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball away. Clock 96 miles an hour out of the left hand of Messick. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Back into the box is Marsh. Messick looks in, setting up on the outside corner is Langeliers. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Four-seam fastball on the outside corner. Down looking goes the hitter. He gets the old backwards K, baseball's impression of Cyrillic. No hits, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 2 full innings of play, it is 3-0 the American League going to the top of the third inning. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes, and this is Bombers Game Mike.
You know, when you do that, sometimes I do that while I'm just walking around the house. I go, this is Bombers Game Mike, because it's really catchy. So I go around my house, go, this is Bombers Game Mike. I'm sure some of you guys do that in the chat as well. You can probably join me on that one. I just find it really cool. I love how you do it. I love the voice, and then there's me just doing it. If I'm driving on the road by myself, I'll keep going, this is Bombers Game Mike. But no, I do like that. Just on Messick as well, the 2 teams that develop pitching the best, in my opinion, Tampa Bay Rays and Cleveland Guardians. If you want a good pitching factory, definitely check those 2 teams Brewers out. Oh, yeah, almost forgotten. Of course, Milwaukee. I mean, they develop anyone, and then they trade them off and develop the next guy. I mean those 3 teams.
They could develop myself and you and I would be Cy Young Award candidates within a week, man.
Yep. They know how to add 5 miles an hour onto my fastball. even if I'm only throwing 70 miles an hour. And maybe I'd locate it good enough to at least get one out in the MLB. As I know you're in adverts right now. They're showing some great diving players on MLB TV. I love the highlights on MLB TV. You see some great plays from years in the past.
You know, I think sometimes about if I had been a kid today and I had access to MLB.TV and, and a PS5, when I consider how addictive, Sonic 2 was back in the day, I'm quite certain that as a kid today, my brain would definitely melt into the carpet. I mean, just having all that there. I would never turn off MLB.TV. That, to me, would be like the wildest dream back in the day that I could ever have. My sons raced BMX in 1979. We raced WLS there. Forget the name of the park, but had giant King Kong ape. All right, JoJo. And once again, thank you all so much for joining both Liam and I here for this Midsummer Classic call of the game here on Game Mike. And if you haven't followed Liam over at Jolly Good Takes, well, what are you waiting for? YouTube.com/@JollyGoodTakes, which I got to say, my first time I saw that, I was like, oh, man, that's just perfect. I love the name. All right, my friend, you got it. Here's Riley. Oh, I guess I have to call it, right? Because Riley O'Brien.
Yeah, we can go batter to batter if you want, if your voice needs it.
Now the first pitch for O'Brien. A sinker out and away, and the count is 1-0. No, you get the next two frames in a row, no question.
Yeah.
Shane Langoliers, a walk and a run scored. It's a righty-righty matchup. The 1-0 pitch. Head on out there in the center field, giving chase, and it falls in for a base hit. Picked up out there and thrown back in. So Langoliers has a lead-off single to center field. And there's a runner on first with nobody out in the top of the third inning for the National League. Riley O'Brien.
You ready, Cardinals fans?
Riley O'Brien doing Riley O'Brien things.
Yeah. That one was a little jammer shot, but it got out there and landed safely.
So there's a runner on first. 2 pitches so far for Riley O'Brien. He is in the white tops, white bottoms with the birds on the bat, red letters and numbers. He comes set against Caminero, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. A sweeper away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. No, it's funny. When I heard Justin was the first one to tell me that he made it. Junior Caminero's 0 for 1, grounded out back in the first inning. From the belt is O'Brien. And he plugs Caminero off the front bill of his helmet. He is down, and he does not look like he is in a lot of comfort right there. It definitely beamed him, and that puts runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the third inning for the National League. Let's see the replay on that, because he got plunked something fierce there.
Yeah. You never want to see this.
Game. No, not at all. He's back on 2 feet running towards the dugout, so presumably his night is over, I think. We're going to see a pinch runner here in a moment. All right, here's the replay. Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
It got him on the hand, right around like the nub of the bottom of the bat there. But it definitely got him, so he gets himself a hit by pitch. And right there, it looked like it was on his left pinky, which is the last thing you want to see if you're a Tampa fan right now.
And you know what's bad about that is sometimes when you're holding the bat and the ball hits where you're holding the bat, it traps your fingers in between the two.
Yeah. No, I'm curious about something, Liam. I know there is some organized baseball in the UK. Did you ever play any of it?
No, I've discussed this before. I've never actually played baseball. I've played our equivalent, which is rounders, which is basically, no, it's not really. It's more like softball than it is
baseball. Pinch runner at first is Vargas from the south side of Chicago. Now the first pitch to Witt Jr. Strike, sweeper on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Okay, so you played organized rounders.
Yes. I would always love to play a baseball game, though. You know, I've always thought...
Coming set is O'Brien. The 0-1. A sweeper off the plate away, ruled the ball, and the count is 1-1.
If we ever get the opportunity to all do a baseball game, just between all of us, I thought that'd be amazing. I'd definitely do that.
Oh, yeah, totally. The 1-1 pitch. A sinker inside, check swing held up there by Bobby Witt Jr. And the count is 2-1. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Here at the top of the third inning, 3-0 American League. Coming set is O'Brien. The 2-1 offering. Hit to the left side, fielded there, steps on third one, throws to first in time.
Can't see the umpire.
Did he get him there at first? No, it looks like he beat the runner at first, so they get the lead runner at third, and Bobby Witt Jr. reaches on the fielder's choice, and so runners on first and second with one out here, and that was a nice little pickup there by Muncy on the left side, but the throw was just not, oh boy, that was close.
Oh, I think that's out. I'd call that out.
If they were to look back at it, I think he would probably be called out, but, the All-Star game, I think they're going to let it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and can we get a camera with the umpire in it, please?
Yeah,
I have no idea what the call was.
Oh, they are going to take a look at this thing. Oh, I think on the replay they're going to call him out. I think it's going to end up being a 5-3 double play. Any
sort of bias to where this is the All-Star game? Are we really going to call someone out on a tic-tacky play? Do you think there'll be any bias?
I don't know. Let's put it this way. They're going to play it straight up, the guys in the replay center. It's just another day for them. So we await this official challenge to the off-site replay center, just like NASA Mission Control, but better funded. All right, let's see here. And, oh boy, I think they got him at first. Because remember, it doesn't have to be solid in the glove. It simply has to make contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's out at first. Let's see what the ultimate call here is.
Yeah, I got out. As we do on my streams, I'd already be putting 2 outs. That's what I'd be doing.
Definitely. So we await the off-site replay center and their verdict.
I think Max Muncy, he didn't put everything behind that throw. Kind of an all-star kind of throw there. Just like, you know what, as long as they get this one close, make it close play. He didn't do that low-line drive of a throw. More of a, if we were throwing to each other across the diamond.
Yeah, it definitely had, let's put it this way, exhibition urgency, I guess maybe is a way to put it. So we're still waiting here for the off-site replay center to come to their final verdict.
Dodgers players don't need to worry about the All-Star game. I mean, they're going for the three-peat.
Yeah, they're going to try. It's not easy to do. Not easy to do. The last team to do it, I think, was the Yankees. 98, 99, 2000. In fact, they only, in those 3 World Series victories, they only lost 1 game, and that was to the Mets in 2000. All right.
As they always say, the longer these replays go, the more chance got of getting overturned.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
But I think they have enough evidence here, personally. So we await here the outcome of this instant replay challenge. Let's see how the boys in the city are doing. And the call stands. Wow, I am shocked by that. I really am, because I thought he was out. I still think he's out. I don't know what they saw.
I think they're going with, we can't definitively tell. It's the All-Star game. It's not that important. Maybe I'm being wrong, but I think that's what went through their thinking.
Definitely possible. So runners on first and second, reaching on the fielder's choice is Bobby Witt Jr. Coming set is Bellinger, the first pitch. There's a fly ball down the third base side. Giving chase is Soto. Near the line, he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So Cody Bellinger flies out 7, the put out in your scorecard for the second out.
By the way, the new base runner for Junior Caminero is Miguel Vargas of the Chicago White Sox. He's in there at second base.
All right, fantastic. So now runners on first and second with 2 out, top of the third inning, 3-0 American League. Now here comes Benjamin Rice, the left-handed hitting first baseman for the Yankees. Righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. A sweeper well down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0.
So you got 2 teams right here.
Benjamin Rice, yes, indeed, is really an excellent bat in the middle of the Yankee lineup. Homegrown product. The 1-0 pitch. Strike. Sinker on the inside corner above the knees, and the count is 1-1. Ben Rice is 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in the first inning. Hitting .279, 29 home runs so far this year. Coming set at the belt is O'Brien. He deals. Strike. Sweeper on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 1-2.
Perfect pitch there with the backdoor sweeper to get ahead in the count.
Yes, indeed. So, O'Brien, 1 strike away. The 1-2, swinging strike 3. Down goes Rice hacking for the third and final out of the inning. So,
Now,
the NL, excuse me, the AL, they leave 2. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It is 3-0 American League. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes, and this is Bombers Game Mic. 3-0 American League going to the bottom of the third.
now I got to call Paul D up on that. He did do the whistle on a Yankees player, and he said he weren't going to do it.
Well, it was
Rice.
Cardinals, Yankees. I figured at that point, what was good for the goose was good for the gander.
Yeah, so Ben Rice gets the whistle, and it's 3-0. Let's see, can the NL get their first hit, I believe? I believe they're hitless so far. Come on, NL, let's get on the board here and make this game competitive. As just looking at what you guys are saying in the chat, nice job by O'Brien to get out of that jam. Yes, it got off to a rough start there, runners at first and second, but he found a way.
Now, in the chat, David Hodge, how about Jordan Walker winning the home run derby? You know, David, I know you're probably there because I mentioned it a couple times this week, how I was worried about, post-break, how the home run derby could potentially screw up his swing. And my paranoia there still persists. But man, oh man, wasn't that fun to watch? He came in there, came up, basically got Kyle Schwarber snake bent in front of the home crowd. Oh, that was pretty. It's just another example that this year, as we have learned, is that if you sleep on the Cardinals or any of their players, you do so at your own peril.
Yep. You could say Cardinals are up there with one of the most overperforming teams based off expectations. This is going to be a rebuild year, and this is one of their best years in recent times.
Absolutely. So we're not back yet, but you have the next 2 frames in a row.
Yep.
Jolly Good Takes. I'm curious about something. Why did you choose that name?
You know what? I've always just, the phrase "jolly good." I just use it around the house sometimes, and I see a few other people. It's always something takes, and I thought this name makes people know that I'm actually a British channel. The only thing I was a little bit questionable about is there's no baseball in there, but I thought "jolly good." It's a British phrase. I'm British.
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
Hey, you own it, and you own it well. But let's see.
No, but
Jojo,
I just wanted
great
to say,
time to trade Walker. Oh, Jojo.
We were talking about the Braves and the Guardians. Yeah. Well, did you know that Junior Caminero was a prospect on the Guardians, and I bet they regret that trade, giving him to Tampa Bay. As Michael Wacha of the Kansas City Royals is coming in. He's 5-7 with a 3.77 ERA, and Andy Pages will foul off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Andy Pages, he's been one of the Dodgers' best players this year, batting .270, the centre fielder. He's got a cannon of an arm, and we've seen already that a few times today, as he just missed the runner at home, as that pitch is low, and the count is 1-1. Michael Wacha, he's been doing it for years, just a guy that is really, really consistent. Never going to blow you away, but is always hovering around that pretty good ERA in the mid-3s, as there's a cool strike at the knees, and the count is 1-2. I see a few of you in there are cheering on Pages. You know what? I'll never cheer on a Dodger, but I hope he does do something here, as that pitch is low, and the count is 2-2. They're interviewing Bobby Witt Jr. right now, discussing things with him. I already said it. He's probably the best shortstop in baseball, as the 2-2 pitch to Andy Pages is going to be a change-up low at 83 miles an hour, and it's a full count here, and can Pages walk here to get the leadoff runner on? Bobby Witt Jr., 2-time AL Gold Glove winner, great defensively, great speed, great average, 30 home runs. As the 3-2 pitch to Pages is a swing and a miss, and that is the first strikeout of the inning. Pages goes down swinging, 1 out here. Do, as the Yankee whistle goes. So 1 out here, and that will bring up 14.
I know it was at the expense of the NL. I just wanted to play the whistle.
I like the whistle as well. Drake Baldwin, who I got to say, He started off batting well over 300. Then he went on the IL as the pitch here to Drake Baldwin is going to be a curveball in there for a strike. Big looping curveball. Just caught the top of the zone there. No, he was batting over 300, went on the IL, been a slow starter since, as that pitch is fouled off and it's 0-2. But I think he's one of the best young catchers in baseball, if not the best young catcher. Him, even Herrera, and of course the Shea Langoliers for the Athletics. As there's a cool strike through on the outside corner, a perfect 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He couldn't have gone up to the plate and placed that any better if you asked him. So 2 down here, and I tell you what, how many strikeouts so far have there been for Team AL? I mean, right now, Team NL, they have got to start putting the ball in play. Otherwise, this lead is not going to come down. As here is the top of the lineup, and Kyle Schwarber, as there's a fan with a Schwar bomb sign. He hit over 30 yesterday. Can he hit one today? As he fouls off the first pitch, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count is 0-1. I see some of you guys in there talking about Willie Adams. Willie Adams is not one of the best shortstops in baseball. Many Giants fans will know he's definitely overpaid. He'll hit you 30 home runs, but his defense has been abysmal. As Kyle Schwarber, he's got an earpiece in there. It just fell out. It looks like it's kind of annoying him, as he's actually talking to the broadcast during this at bat. As the 0-1 pitch is just low. A change up there. Good take by Schwarber. And, you know, Schwarber is never going to hit for a lot of average, but he's got one of the best eyes in baseball. You know he's going to get on base. And some of those Moneyball A's teams would have liked to play that got on base. As there's a swing and a miss at a 91-mile-an-hour cutter on the hands. And whacker, that is where you want to put the cutter. Up and in. It's got that movement. It goes in towards the left-handed batter. And Schwarber, he was nowhere near that pitch. As the 1-2 pitch is outside, a changeup at 81 miles an hour there. And the count is 2-2. 2 outs, no one on the bottom of the third. 3-0 AL here. As all those runs came in the first, and they all were driven in by Yankees players. The 2-2 pitch is a weak ground ball down the first baseline, foul. A changeup at the bottom of the zone, and the count is 2-2. Schwarber, most home runs since 2022. Schwarber, number 2, behind only Aaron Judge, and just ahead of Shohei Ohtani there. As the 2-2 pitch to Schwarber is fouled out of play. He was on that ball, just underneath it. And I tell you what, one thing I don't like about Citizens Bank Park is you can see the scoreboard, the graphics behind the batters there. They've got fake hedges, which that always annoys me, the advertising there. But hey, people have got to make their money at the end of the day. As the 2-2 pitch to Schwarber is a check swing off his bat, foul, and it remains 2-2. And we've seen a lot of this so far for the NL. The first 2 batters go down quickly, and then the last batter puts up a bit of a fight. Let's see if Schwarber can get on here. So 2-2, Michael Wacha. This will be his 17th pitch. As there's a low line drive straight to the second baseman, Ernie Clement, who will fire it over to Ben Rice to end the inning. And we are a third away through this game. The score is 3-0 Team AL, as he hit that one hard, just straight to the second baseman, Ernie Clement. Paul D.
Yes, indeed. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the top of the 4th inning, 3-0 American League. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go into the chat.
On the next time you do that, I'm going to do that for you.
By
the
all
Bombers
means.
Game Mike. I want to do one Bombers Game Mike.
That's, how about
that's a request of mine.
I would love that. By all means, you have right at it.
As I see some of you guys talking about the World Cup, my opinions, well, Spain were my pick to win the World Cup going into it. So I thought Spain were going to win today. They did. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Team England win it. But no, that was, you know what? I saw a few people saying that soccer match was a bit boring. You know what? When you get to these late round tournaments, it's kind of a bit nervous. You're starting to get worse matches. But enough of the football talk. That's or soccer talk. That's just my comment. Someone wanted me to comment. Haran wanted me to comment on France, Spain. That's my opinions on that.
Well, David Hodge, you're talking about Kyle Schwarber. He's probably shell-shocked from yesterday home run derby. I like the way you think, David, and I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you tonight. And it's good to see all of you. Some of you that are regulars here on Game Mike. Some of you that are regulars over at Jolly Good Takes. And so I get to meet some new proverbial places in the digital sphere. And it's also good to see my people hear from Game Mike after this just ridiculous weekend. But I got to tell you, I'm definitely looking forward to being back in action come Friday night with the Redbirds out in Arizona. Scheduled first pitch is 8:40 p.m. Central Time. I'll be live here on Game Mike at 8:30 p.m. Central Time on Friday night for the resumption and the beginning of the second half. And I appreciate you taking this next half inning here, Liam.
Yeah, that's all good. I would just want to say as well to everyone in the chat, you guys have been amazing over here on Paul D's channel. Welcome me in. So shout out to all you guys. You seem like great people. As Paul D, he talks like about you Cardinals fans like you are the nicest people on the planet. So shout out to all you guys that come in here and watch Paul D every day as well. And of course, shout out to all my regulars. You know all about me, but look, I always think it's amazing that people tune in every single day and make it a part of their day, Paul D. It really does mean a lot to us, and it keeps us going when it can get tough. Because, you know, one thing about my Giants, we're basically last place in the National League. It's a rough year, but you guys in the community, you do keep me going. As Luzardo of the Phillies is going to come in here and fire a sinker at 98 miles an hour for a strike, and the count is 0-1. He's got 136 strikeouts this year. That's third in the NL. He's 8-4 with a 3.51 ERA. As that sinker is low, and the count is 1-1. Riley Green is the batter for Team AL of the Detroit Tigers. And we've got a substitution here. William Contreras of the Milwaukee Brewers. As there's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Is coming in to be the catcher, replacing Drake Baldwin of the Atlanta Braves. Jesus Luzardo, often he's very hit or miss, as Philly fans will know. But as there's a swing and a miss for a strikeout, play it, baby. The whistle, yeah, there we go.
There you go, my
whistle,
friend.
as that sweeper was down and away, and he got the chase there. No, Luzardo, he can be very hit or miss, but as of late, he's been a lot more hit than miss, and that's why he is in the All-Star Game. The former Miami Marlin, now in his second year, I believe, on the Phillies. As there's a weak ground ball by Ernie Clement to the third baseman. Max Muncy will fire it across to his teammate, Freddie Freeman, for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here for Luzardo, just 5 pitches. And Team NL, they desperately need this. Can't let the Team AL get away here, as Mike Trout will come up for his third at-bat of the game. He's over 2. He struck out. He grounded out, as they're just showing a fan there with a big Mike Trout sign. And Mike Trout, he's one of the nicest guys you will see in the game. As he pitched by Luzardo is a weak ground ball. This one straight to Max Muncy. Muncy will fire it over to his teammate again, Freddie Freeman. They really don't want to, Paul D, as that ends the inning, give you a rest on your voice, because they're quick innings here when I'm calling them. So 3-0 Team AL as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And we'll see if they can finally get on the board here, NL. Because right now, they aren't putting up much of a fight.
Well, you wanted to do the Bombers game by closing out the inning. Here's your time.
All right. So I want to thank everybody. I'm Liam of Jolly Good Takes, and that is Paul D of Bombers Game Mike. And this is Bombers Game Mike. And thank you all for tuning in. I didn't want to do the American accent. I can't do accents.
No. You want to do it just the way you sound.
But,
you know, yeah, in fact, Liam, call the bottom of the 4th inning. I'll pick up on the top of the 5th, so that way we can switch around. We get a little chance to one of us can call for the pitchers in the National League, the others can call for the batters.
All right, yes. No, I know sometimes I get asked to do an American accent. I'm not great at accents. The only one I can do is Irish. I don't know why I can do Irish, but I've always been able to do it. As we were talking about the Brewers and their pitching development, I'm just seeing former Giant Kyle Harrison, who's now on the Brewers. They've turned him into a stud. Although I know he just recently pitched against the Cardinals. I was watching some of that game.
Yes.
And I believe he struggled a little bit that game.
And now looking into the chat is Scott Reed, Biloxi, ... Leapud here. Hey, it's good to see you, Scott Reed. Biloxi has entered the chat.
What's up, Scott? How are you, Scott? Good to see you. Nice to meet you. And nice to meet all of you. As Harold as well, good to meet you. As Ethan says, is it just me or is every player technically a two-way player? because they play both defense and offense. When we call a two-way player, we mean pitching and hitting. So unless you name Shohei Ohtani, I think
Babe
he's
Ruth.
the only two-way player in the league. Yeah.
Well, here's something interesting, though.
Babe Ruth.
When he was drafted, Mason Wynn was a two-way player.
Okay.
And when you realize, everyone here knows the canon that, that Mason Wynn has out there at short. And when you hear that he was drafted as a two-way player, it's like, well, that would explain some things now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, same with Bryce Eldridge. He was a two-way player coming out of high school, and the Giants. These teams know, even though they're two-way players, they know going into the pick which way they are going to get them playing.
Absolutely.
And most times, I would say they more often than not they're a hitter. The more I've seen, but look, I don't think we're ever going to get a guy like Shohei Ohtani again. I mean, the dude is a top 5 hitter and a top 5 pitcher in baseball. I mean, the dude. I know it's annoying he's on the Dodgers, but he's a crazy talent.
He really is. He really is. And he's been a lot of fun to watch. He didn't come to Major League Baseball as the, entirely complete player that he is now and has been for the last few years. So it's actually been really interesting to watch him develop a little bit, those first few years with the Angels, and then really blossoming fully into his own. And here we have a pitching change by way of Joe Ryan.
Joe Ryan, one of my favourite pitchers in baseball, actually, from the San Francisco area. He's 6-5 with a 2.85 ERA, a 1.05 WHIP, 128 Ks, and he will be facing Juan Soto as that pitch is high and outside. 95-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball there. It's got a bit of two-seam action on that four-seam fastball, but it is a four-seamer, but quite a lot of horizontal movement. As the 1-0 pitch is a splitter low there. And talking of splitter, that is my favourite pitch in all of baseball, is the splitter. The two fingers on the baseball, on the seam there, separately, for you guys that are a bit wider than that. As the pitch to Juan Soto is fouled out of play, and it's 2-1. I always like to demonstrate. I'm not a genius when it comes to pitching, but that splitter, that's why it's got its name. You've got the split fingers there as I'm showing. And it's a nasty pitch, just dives right at the end. And good luck if the one's thrown perfectly. As there's a ground ball up the middle for Juan Soto. And that is going to be the first hit of the day for Team NL. Soto with a ground ball single. And let's see, can we get something going here? As he always does his celebration when he gets the first. He looks to the sky, gives a clap, and they're just showing a replay here of Junior Caminero. If you're just joining, Junior Caminero, and this is the part we don't like to see in the All-Star Game, had to exit with an injury as he was hit on the pinky finger. We will hope he's okay and misses no time with the Tampa Bay Rays. Here's Freddie Freeman. Ryan will fire a called strike, and it's 0-1. Freddie Freeman, he is, he just got a walk today. So no 1 for 1, 0 for 1. It's a clean play for Freddie Freeman. As Ryan, he's at 5 pitches so far. He will fire a pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Freeman, a fastball at 96 miles an hour. And I'm telling you, Paulie, that is a nasty fastball.
It is. It's hard to square up. There's a lot of good rising action on that thing.
Yep, so 0-2 count here to Freddie Freeman. Joe Ryan, he is going to fire their pitch, and that pitch is fouled out of play. And Freddie Freeman, he's one of the best batters. When he's up 2 strikes, he'll just choke up a little bit. He'll make sure he gets contact on the ball to the best of his abilities. And that's why he does not strike out a lot compared to a lot of players you'll see in this game that are hit for power. As the 0-2 pitch to Freddie Freeman is a splitter low at 90 miles an hour, and count is 1-2. Runner at first. No outs here. 3-0 AL, bottom of the 4th. 1-2 count. Joe Ryan's pitcher. Freddie Freeman is the batter. We are live from Citizens Bank Park. As there's a swing and a miss. So just as I say, he never strikes out. Of course, Freddie Freeman strikes out at a nasty curveball there. And there's 1 out. And Paulie, that always happens to me. I say something, and then the player does the opposite of what I say.
I know exactly.
I'm sure
how
you've
feel.
had that.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
As here's the shortstop, C.J. Abrams of the Nationals. Abrams spanned 275, 20 home runs, 67 RBIs. If you've got any youngsters in there, you know that meme. As the pitch to C.J. Abrams is a swing and a miss at a fastball, and the count is 0-1. CJ Abrams, for the Giants fans in the chat, was a trade target for the Giants. Heavy rumors linking him to San Francisco in the offseason, but that did not come through as the count is 0-1. Joe Ryan in the windup. He will fire. That splitter is down and away, and the count is 1-1. And you know what I want to see, Paul D? I want to see the first home run of the night right here, because we need some home runs.
The NL needs some help, to be sure.
As the 1-1 pitch to CJ Abrams is going to be a big swing and miss. A splitter there, not where he would have wanted to throw that. As actually the umpire says foul tip. So just a little bit of the ball there, but straight into the mitt, and essentially a swinging strike. So 1-2 count here. I'm Liam, and over there is Paul D. You can't see him on the stream, but he's got his picture there. As there's a swing and miss by CJ Abrams. He goes down on strikes, the second strikeout of the inning, and the strikeout fest continues. I don't know if anyone out there knows how many strikeouts there's been so far in this game for Team NL, but it feels like every bloody batter that's getting out is striking out. It's crazy. Max Muncy is up to the plate. Max Muncy 0 for 1, wearing those glasses that have helped him a lot later on in his career, as it just improves that eyesight ever so slightly. As there's a pickoff attempt by Joe Ryan. Juan Soto is back safely.
As if Juan Soto was ever going to take off for a second.
No, I know. He's even laughing about that as well. By the way, if you're new to baseball, I'm sure none of you are new to baseball, but you get 2 pickoff attempts, and that is pickoff attempt number 1, as that pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. If you do throw a pickoff attempt after 2 attempts, if you are unsuccessful, it results in a balk, and the runner will move to the next base.
That was actually a very nasty knuckle curve on the inside corner there to Muncy.
Absolutely. As the 0-1 pitch to Max Muncy is a swing and a miss at that fastball. So right now he's got the curveball low, fastball high. And when you got those pitches locating perfectly well with that sort of movement, it becomes impossible to hit. So 0-2 to Max Muncy. Ryan at 15 pitches. He will fire. So we've got the umpire camera here. That will be a high fly ball. That one will be to Bobby Witt Jr., who's going back. He will cool everybody off. He will make the catch to end the 4th inning. So Joe Ryan, he gets the job done. And right now, Team NL, they've got to step it up as they get their first hit, but just 1 hit. We go to the top of the 5th, 3-0 in this game. The 2026 MLB All-Star Game. And back to Paul D on the Bombers game, Mike.
And we go to the chat, which I always like trying to do, and even when the action is going for us. All right, let's see here. Get some runners on and bring on Walker. Hey, I think he's going to get his opportunity tonight, David, to be sure. Hey, Paul, how come you don't do whistles for both sides? Well, that would kind of cheapen it, wouldn't it? I mean, obviously this is a Cardinal-focused stream, so the vast majority of the time the whistles are called for the NL. But, if there's a Yankee pitcher who comes in, I don't think there isn't a Yankee pitcher on the AL roster. But, if the Yankees strike out against a Cardinal, I'll play it. But that's the only other time I'll do it. And of course, both teams get the Westminster chime, naturally, when one of their players do it. All right, we are here for the top of the 5th inning. 3-0 AL as we head to the top of the 5th inning.
JB says Camanero's x-rays are negative on the hit by pitch.
That's very good to hear. It absolutely is. You never want to see a guy like that get a serious injury in an All-Star game, That's definitely ain't the reason, to be sure. And it's interesting. They went from commercial break back to the game to give us the Goodyear blimp view, and then back to the commercial break.
Yeah, this is some Phillies thing, isn't it? It's a bit of a weird commercial, this.
Yeah, but whatever the case is, all right, let's bring it around here. Due up here in the top of the 5th inning. There we go. In the top of the 5th inning is going to be Alvarez, Dingler, and then Vargas. At least that's how it currently stands. So that's 2, 3, and 4 in the AL order.
This will be the part of the game we start to see some pitch hits here now. Third time through the lineup. That's when we'll start to see some of the guys on the bench.
Definitely. he could be the MVP if he keeps up the pace. Yeah, I can actually completely agree with that, Justin. I mean, especially one is because the year he's having is so incredible. And on top of that, the Rays are right in it. They're in the top of not just the AL East, but the American League more generally. I think he has a definite candidacy the way he has been playing. I think that's reasonable enough. Going to another Rays game on the 29th. Who are they playing on the 29th, Justin?
One thing I want to ask you is, does team wins matter when you're voting for an MVP?
For me, it does. Unless the player is having such an otherworldly year. Because I feel like most valuable player is really, it has to be more than just the individual accomplishment. It should have a very constructive and productive contribution to the team they play on, and it can, in terms of competition. And it looks like we are getting here a little bit of a replay of Ray Charles singing America the Beautiful. And looks like we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a spectacle here before we start the top of the fifth inning. A whole bunch of kids on bicycles, fireworks going off. I've actually sat there right above that tunnel in the right field corner at Citizens Bank back in late September of 2011. It was a Sunday night. The Cardinals were in Philadelphia, and they had to sweep the Phillies. The game didn't matter at all to the Phillies because they were going to go on, win 103 games and take the division, be number one in the NL. Of course, they would go on to lose to the Cardinals in that division round in the best of five series. The 1-0 victory by one Chris Carpenter, I believe, over Roy Halladay. All the Cardinal fans in the audience, they were alive and paying attention to baseball at that time, remember it well. But that Sunday night, it was on Sunday Night Baseball. I remember Albert Pujols had a big home run in that game, and it propelled the Cardinals onto the sweep that they desperately needed in order to stay right there with the collapsing Braves. And we all know the rest of the story. But yeah, there's a big old fireworks display out in Citizens Bank mid-game.
I don't like delays, but it is pretty cool. I've got to admit, this does look pretty cool to me.
Yeah, this is what the Midsummer Classic's all about. It's about baseball. It's about celebrating the game. Let's put it this way. If you can celebrate the game in all sorts of good humor and sportsmanship and still manage to do so successfully in Philadelphia, you've got yourself a pretty good sport. You got yourself a pretty good sport.
And I see Zim's chiming in on the on the debate about whether team record matters. I get the argument that one player doesn't carry a team in baseball. I just think your team's going to make the playoffs. To me, it's the same in ice hockey and basketball. These players, if you're not in the playoffs, then they will never give you MVP. I know it's a single player, but still, you've got to contribute to a winning team, in my opinion. So technically, it's most valuable player. In a bracket, I would have, at least a good team.
Let's put it this way: you would have to put together quite a campaign as a position player for me to give you an MVP vote when you go out and hit 60 home runs on a last place team. And obviously, baseball is the ultimate team sport. But as far as I'm concerned, the team outcome has to have some skin on it. And there are definitely some teams when you take away a major offensive piece and they're just not the same. They just aren't. And the fact of the matter is outcomes at this highest level are determined by such small differences. The best team and the last place team, obviously there's the largest differential there. But ultimately, I'm just not really moved by a guy who goes out, hits 60 home runs on a team that is 30 games under. It's just, fight me. It's just how I feel.
And a lot of that is also goes into it is when you're 30 games under, there's no pressure on the games. When you're battling for the playoffs, every game means something, whether that's to get into the playoffs or the seeding or to win the division. So those games are also a lot more important than just games when you're 30 games under 500. So that would go into my thinking as well. As Bob says, he has the Giants coming back to win the division. There's no way, Bob, the Giants are going to win the division over the Dodgers. But I like your optimism, but there's definitely not a chance of that happening.
Yeah, you got to respect the optimism, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
But
I like positive people, but that's too positive for me.
yeah. I mean, the Cardinals have been very fortunate this year in a lot of ways because, obviously, yeah, they have outperformed expectation. But we're also lucky that they're such a young team and doing it, and they get to be so exciting, and they're also really likable, and that you can turn on the game, and then most nights it's going to be a pretty good matchup one way or another.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's always impressed me about Cardinals fans is that one way or another they appreciate good competitive baseball, and that means a lot. It really does, and it's been fun watching it up close, meeting more Cardinals fans and just getting a better idea of, the legacy there and the tradition of the Cardinals and how it's endured in such an incredible form. All right, we are back here for the top of the fifth inning. Now, here's the first pitch from the lefty Griffin. Foul backing out of play on the four-seam fastball in, and the count is no balls and one strike.
Yandy Diaz, the pinch hitter here as well.
Yes, indeed. He's going and changing his bat. Looks like he broke it there.
Yeah. Apologies.
Spraying it down.
Normally, I know most players in baseball, but I'm not too familiar with Griffin. So apologies, everybody.
All right. Yandy Diaz steps back in the box. 322, 13 home runs, 55 IBIs for Tampa. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Coming set, the 0-1. Strike. Cutter on the inside corner. Ruled a strike, and the count is no balls and two strikes.
Yandy Diaz is incredible. He just does it every year.
Griffin comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike three. Down goes Hack and does Diaz.
That's how incredible he is that he just struck out.
The first out of the inning. Foster Griffin for Washington, 10-2 with a 2.77 ERA, a whip of 1.02 in 18 starts. 19 starts. Batters are hitting a combined 210 against him. He comes set below the letters. The first pitch to Dingler. Strike. A cutter on the inside corner below the belt. And the count is 0-1. Dylan Dingler hitting .262, 19 home runs, 60 RBIs. It's a lefty-righty matchup, an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Fouled and rolls over towards the home on deck circle, and the count is 0-2.
And the Nationals are a team I view very similar to the Cardinals, actually. Both young teams, both maybe in a rebuild, but overperforming over 500 expectations this season.
Dingler comes set. Here's the 0-2. A cutter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. So they got
good
Carroll
young
out there
team.
Left. They got Stewart in at third and Olsen at first defensively for the National League. Now, here's the 1-2. A sweeper in the dirt away, and the count comes even at 2-2.
Yep, Spencer Stewart, rookie. You know what? He's up there battling with J.J. Weatherholt for Rookie of the Year right now in the NL.
Coming set. The 2-2. Swinging strike three on the changeup away. For the second out of the inning. So a couple of strikeouts swinging there by Griffin. Coming in, really bringing some order into this game for the National League pitching. And now there's nobody on with two outs here in the top of the fifth inning. 3-0 American League. He comes set. The first pitch to Vargas. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0.
David, I see your question. I'll get to it after the half inning. David, after this inning, I'll get to that question.
Now here's the pitch. Hit on out there into center field, going back towards the track. He pulls it in center field, does Pies for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 4.5 innings of play, it is 3-0 AL going to the bottom of the fifth inning. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat.
Yeah, so David, to answer your question, do I think the Cardinals have a chance to get in the playoffs? Of course they have a chance. I mean, to me, if you want me to name my playoff team, so I think Dodgers, Brewers, and Phillies and Braves, they're four for certain in. And then to me, the Cubs would also be in there. And then I think I don't think the Padres are very good. I think it's between the Diamondbacks and Cardinals for that final playoff spot. That'd be my prediction. And then a sneaky little underdog. Watch out for the Pirates. They've got some good young players. They could make a run as well. But no, I think the Cardinals, I think it'll be them and the Diamondbacks batting it out in September to see who will make the playoffs. So, David, yes, I definitely do. As, yep, halfway home, 3-0 in this game. And the Giants getting themselves in the wildcard conversation. Is that crazy? Yes, we're done. You know what? I don't want to admit it, but I have to admit it. We're going to be sellers at the deadline. Now, there are teams that sell, and then they do improve after selling. They call up the youth, a bit more excitement in the ballpark. The fans get into it more, and it happens. But, our wildcard run has been done, not just because we're so many games back, but there's 6 or 7 or 8 teams you're going to have to overtake to even get in. As I'm not a pessimist, I'm just a realist. As Jojo, I bet NL over figures. Yeah, that's looking rough right now. We need a few more runs for you to cash in that bet.
Well, one thing I got to say to my Bombers Game Mike regulars, I'm glad because I've seen it in the chat and I've seen you guys pepper it in there. I'm so glad that you're enjoying Liam's call of the game. He really is really just a guy that is a fantastic Giants fan, a man who loves baseball. He may not be from our homeland, but boy, does he sure have a passion for our national pastime. And I got to say, Liam, thank you so much for joining us here on Game Mike tonight and agreeing to do this call of the game with me here in the Midsummer Classic.
No, it's great you reached out to me. I'm having a ton of fun. I know your voice is kind of going there a little bit, but I'm having a ton of fun. I think this is great. Scott's a regular in my chat as well. He says, hi, Paul D and Liam. Nice to join you on Bombers Game Mike. Yes,
well,
Scott, thank you for finding your way over here. We couldn't get the dual stream thing working, so I apologise to
that's on me.
all my people there. But no, shout out to all you guys. Scott, how's your Tuesday going? This is Scott's a Phillies fan as well, by the way, Paul D. So this is his hometown.
Oh, hey, then this is definitely your party. You're throwing a heck of a party.
As Nick Martinez is going to be the pitcher for the AL of the Tampa Bay Rays. He was last at the Reds before joining Tampa, and what a turnaround he's having in Tampa Bay. A 2.14 ERA. He has been money, and a big reason that Tampa team is sitting in first place in the AL East. As there's a cutter high at 91 miles an hour, and the count is 1-0. And Scott, you couldn't be better. All right, that's good to hear, Scott. So 1-0 count here to Ozzy Albies, the second baseman. And the 1-0 pitch is going to be a swing and miss at a nasty changeup at 78 miles an hour in the dirt. And I was going to say, Luis Ariz, the Giants All-Star, would not swing at that pitch. But he also doesn't hit for the same amount of power as Ozzy Albies.
Over to the next pitch, I want to mention something from the chat.
As the 1-1 pitch to Ozzy Albies is going to be a ground ball. That one to the first baseman. And Wilson Contreras is going to take it over to the bag himself for out number 1.
So Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley thing. And a round of applause, everybody, because Justin Beasley has been just mod extraordinaire. He writes, maybe you guys could do a game when the Cards play the Giants. I'm game if you are, Liam. And we'll figure out the dual stream by then.
Yeah, no, I would love to, yeah. I think this has been a ton of fun, Andy. You're a great dude. As the pitch to Brandon Marsh, the Phillies outfielder, is going to be a swing and miss, and it's an 0-1 count. Brandon Marsh, he is having a fantastic year, batting .301, 15 home runs. As Martinez, he has a little bouncy wind up, as that pitch is high, a 94 mile an hour fastball, and the count is 1-1. And Zim, I'm sure Paul D will answer that question after this inning, as the 1-1 pitch to Brandon Marsh is going to be a called strike on a high pitch. He gets the benefit of the call. There'll be no challenge by Brandon Marsh. As I said earlier, ABS is in operation for this All-Star game, and the count is 1-2. As Martinez will fire. That one is bouncing the grass Even I wouldn't swing at that pitch, and the count's 2-2.
That was impressive. Yes, I'll answer your question in the half inning. Yeah.
First Phillies outfielder since 2009 to make the All-Star team is Brandon Marsh. So 2-2 count here. Martinez at 7 pitches, 1 out, 3-0 AL, bottom of the 5th. And Martinez will fire. That one is a looping changeup. That one came out of the hand wrong. And another easy take. And a couple of easy takes here for Brandon Marsh to get the count full at 3-2. As Ethan's checking out. Goodbye, Ethan. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Be well, Ethan. Have a good night.
As 3-2 pitch to Brandon Marsh is going to be fouled out of play. Cutter there. That one was in the strike zone, and Brandon Marsh is able to survive and see another pitch. So 3-2. We need some base runners for the NL. Andy Pajes is on deck. Martinez doing his bump again as he will fire. There's a swing and a miss chasing by Brandon Marsh at a high fastball and another strikeout. So 2 down here. That's 9 strikeouts in 15 at-bats tonight for the National League. You know, Paulie, I was asking for that statistic because it feels like there's been so many strikeouts by a team and they just showed it there. 9 strikeouts in 15 at-bats. This is embarrassing. This is an All-Star game. You know, you're meant to hit in the All-Star game. I know it's not easy. You're facing the best of the best, but come on, Team NL. As here's Andy Pajes then. He will take a curveball there for a ball, and the counts 1-0. Something interesting about Nick Martinez is that his curveball's actually quicker than his changeup. You don't see that very often. So 1-0 count here to Pajes. Martinez will fire. There's a weak ground ball. That one is going to be a tough play for the second baseman. He will fire it across the diamond to Wilson Contreras. What a play there to end the inning. Nick Martinez gives him the point. Ernie Clement with an amazing play. We go to the top of the 6th. And the NL are being shut out here. He backhands that one. He jumps, throws, going away from first base in the outfield. And he delivers a perfect throw to first base. And they love that, Team AL. And they should love that because that was an amazing play, Paul D.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, he went ranging well to his right. He picks it up in shallow center field behind second base. He gives the old Derek Jeter jump throw across the body to get him in time going down the line for the 3rd out. And we head to the top of the 6th inning, 3-0 American League here in the Midsummer Classic. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Shake. And if you haven't subscribed to Jolly Good Takes, what are you waiting for? Going over to Jolly Good Takes, hit the subscribe button. With that said, I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike.
And the same goes if you... if you haven't subscribed to Paul D on Bombers Game Mike, do it as well. If you're in the chat and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that sub button as well.
Well, thank you. Due up in the top of the 6th inning for the AL is McGonigal, followed by Bellinger and Contreras. So, Zim, you asked me what my feelings are on the Giants in general. All right, I'll start from the top down. First off, obviously one of the tremendous legacy franchises in the entire game. I think they need to sell at the deadline and sell as much as possible for as high as possible. Get rid of as much payroll and as many prospects as you can pull in. You know, I don't necessarily know that I'd want the Cardinals to be acquiring anybody from the Giants because there's nobody that would make sense there. But that's another story entirely. But ultimately, I think a lot does ride on how they handle how they sell at the deadline this year. And it looks like we have a musical performance here prior to the top of the 2nd inning. Boys to Men, Philadelphia's own, is performing around the home plate area. I don't know what they're playing. I don't know.
And this
I don't know what they're rendering because you and I are not listening to the audio. But it looks like it's something that's pretty important. So
this is one of my favorite things. They did this last year at the All-Star Game as well. There's just someone that's going through trouble that every person in the crowd knows, and they write their name and they hold it up for the music. To all those people that have either lost their lives or are battling through something tough. It's a really nice moment, this. As we said, it's a celebration. It should be a celebration of life and a celebration of all those people that we've lost as well in recent times.
Well, you know what? Do we? Bob asked me, do we get rid of Matt Chapman? And the answer is, if you can find somebody to take most of that money and give you a few good prospects, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I'm suggesting here, I'm not going to say is the easy route, but I think it's probably the smart one for the Giants. But the good thing is that, they're a legacy franchise and in a market that always attracts a lot of attention. And now they're the only ones left in that market, with the A's going away to Vegas. So they're going to have that all to themselves. And I know just talking from Liam, he wants to be doing what the Cardinals are doing, and I can't blame him. It has been a lot of fun. And as Cardinal fans, we know we're very fortunate because, by any conventional wisdom, this wasn't supposed to be happening. But I guess really one of the big questions I asked any Giants fans out there is, how much confidence do you have in Buster Posey, and do you think he is the right GM for the Giants' future? And that's not a question I can answer.
I mean, my opinion is you still got to give him time, but I'm not. It's not trending in the right way. That'd be my opinion. As Zim says, 48 likes. Let's get a couple more. Yes.
He also mentioned
my goal was 50.
And also, I think this deserves to be recognized by Zim. Rest in peace, my dad. Lost my dad to cancer last August. The fact that MLB does this means a lot. And I think most of us probably have known somebody of significance in our life who have lost their life to cancer before what really should have been their time. And so by all means, definitely, take a moment to reflect on, those that we've lost because of that, because we all know somebody.
Yeah, we can only hope medicine gets better and the amount of people that died to that horrible illness decreases as time goes on. And I know this is not a medical channel, but it's crazy what modern medicine's doing. Some of these things they come up with is crazy. Thank you to everyone that supported Zim as well. He's a good guy. So
and you're welcome.
Last night. He's a great guy.
And you're welcome, Zim. No ifs, ands, or buts. You got it, my guy. Okay.
But no, my opinion on Matt Chapman is he's got a no trade clause, and I think from what I read, he's not going to waive that no trade clause.
All right.
He's happy, family settled.
C. John in the chat. Yo, Paulie D, what good, my friend? How about that kid Jordan Walker? What a great home run derby. That was must-see TV. It definitely was. And it's great to see you, C. John. I hope you're having a great night down in Florida.
Yes, what's up, C. John?
David Hodge, my condolences to those who have lost a loved one. Absolutely. Justin Beasley, what up, C. John? Yeah, the Bombers game mic community coming out tonight, celebrating a little bit of baseball with everybody here, as well as Liam and myself.
JB, best home run derby in a while. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it was a good one.
The final was fantastic. And your guy, Jordan Walker, delivered 4 straight home runs to end it, to win by 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jordan Walker, keep walking. Master Skywalker, the force is with you. All of Philadelphia felt the force last night coming out of Jordan Walker. So
now, Jordan Walker is an interesting player.
Isn't
he? Always had he's always had the potential. He just had to get that swing and miss in the zone all tied up, because I think he may have been the number 1 overall prospect in baseball at one point. And you know what? This year, we're finally seeing that talent come through. Big reason why the Cardinals are doing as well as they are.
Jojo, I'm going to get back to that in a moment because that deserves appropriate attention. Now, here's the righty, Raisel Iglesias from the Braves.
You want me to go here, Paul D, or?
No, I got the top of the inning. Don't worry. Like I said, you got the bottom half now. I'll take the top half. All righty. Iglesias, here comes one. The first pitch. As a 4-seam fastball down and in, the count is 1-0 to McGonigal. Kevin McGonigal for Detroit, 283, 8 home runs, 34 RBIs in 93 games. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. A sinker strike on the inner third above the knees, and the count is 1-1. 3-0 AL here in the top of the 6th inning. Nobody on, nobody out. And the 1-1 pitch, hit to the right side, picked up there by the second baseman, throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. McGonigal
and that was Luis Ariz, by the way.
Indeed,
that
was
Luis Ariz checking into the game for the Giants. So
he grounds out 4-3 for the first out. Yeah, it's good to see him. I mean, hey, he's going to get that bat in here somewhere.
On Kevin McGonigal, he's got one of my favorite names in baseball. And this is where the British side of me is going to come out.
Now the first pitch to Belly. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Cody Bellinger's 1 for 2 tonight. A 2-run single back in the first inning. Now the 1-0 pitch. Head on out there into left field. Going back over the left field in front of the track. He makes the catch. Does Carroll in front of the wall for the second out of the inning. So Cody Bellinger flies out deep. 7 to put out in your scorecard for the second out. Now
I was going to say...
Pete Crow Armstrong's out there in center. Lopez at short. Arez at second. And Wood out in right. So we have a full turnover from the starting defensive 9. Now Wilson Contreras, the right-hander for Boston. 285, 20 home runs. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the slider away. And the count is 0-1.
I was going to say on McGonagall. Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter is my favourite character. That's why I like his name.
The 0-1 pitch. A changeup up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. And we all know as Cardinal fans just how tough a player that Contreras is.
Yeah.
And, he can make your day very, very, very difficult. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup down and away. And the count is 1-2 strikes. So it's a 1-2 count. Nobody on with 2 out. Iglesias looks into the box of Contreras. He wants the 1-2. Four-seam fastball well out and away and out of the zone over the lefty batter's box. Count comes even at 2-2. Contreras is one of those moves by Chaim Bloom here in his first offseason that needed to be made. And so far, it seems to be going okay, this rebuild. The 2-2 pitch, hit to the right side, in through the big wide open hole into right field for a 2-out single to right by Contreras. And the American League has a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. So now
just what I say.
Yeah, the AL has a runner on first now, yeah.
Otto Lopez is a new shortstop. Former Giant, leads the baseball in batting average. Boy, how the Giants could use him.
And Zim, thank you so much for the compliment. Cummins sets Iglesias the first pitch. A changeup called a strike on the inside corner to Randy Arozarena, and the count is 0-1. Runner on first with 2 out. Leading off first is Contreras. The 0-1 pitch. A changeup down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. It's a righty-righty matchup. 3-0 American League in the top of the 6th inning. Runner on first with 2 out. Not much offense for the National League tonight. And the offense for the AL all came back in the first. The 1-1 pitch fouled down the first base side and out of play on the sinker in. And the count is 1-2. So Iglesias is ahead here. 1-2 strikes to Arozarena. 286, 11 home runs, 44 IBIs in 89 games. Looking in is Iglesias. He comes set at the belt. The 1-2. Hit to the left side. Field there at short. Toss to second for the force. For the third and final out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No walks and 1 left on. After 5.5 innings of play, it is 3-0 American League going to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes. And this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-0 American League going to the bottom of the 6th.
And Jojo said good night. I just want to touch, I don't know if Jojo's still in here, but he did say he's dealing with stage 4 bone cancer.
Yeah, in fact,
he's enjoying every day he has left. And I just wanted to say before Paul D hops in on this, I just want to say I love your attitude. I think that's an amazing attitude. Enjoy every day you've got left. If you're still out there, Jojo, shout out to you.
Yeah, Jojo, if you are still in the room, I do want to put a word in here because we see each other every night. So he shared this was the first time to my knowledge Jojo has done so in the chat. I'm dealing with stage 4 bone cancer now. Enjoying every day I have left. No whining. It's great to be alive. Jojo, all I can say is, first off, Liam hit it right on the head, which is the attitude is outstanding. That level of courage in the situation that you're in is no small thing. And if there's anything for any of us here at Bombers Game Mike, Jolly Good Takes, anybody that just happens to be passing through that we can do, let us know. And if baseball and Cardinal baseball or baseball more generally does give you a modicum of comfort in what has to be a harrowing experience, I'm happy to come out and do it here every night for you. I know we had somebody that was in the chat that I think maybe was a Cubs fan that was joining us in their most recent series against the Cubs, not this past weekend, but the one before. And he mentioned that his wife was dealing with terminal cancer. And baseball can be an amazingly helpful therapeutic distraction when things are really tough. And I like to think that as a community at Game Mike, Jolly Good Takes, I have no doubt, are very similar. Is that, at the very least, you got friends. And we're here, and you got a place to go. And God help me, I'll try to call every game I can, JoJo, if you're still out there listening. But even if you're not, that doesn't change the fact. All right, that's what I have to say. We're going to the bottom of the sixth inning.
No, that's well said. I hope our channels can bring as much joy as possible. Apologies, I lost my voice for a second there. I turned into you then. When you don't speak for a while, I get what you mean. You get in the rhythm. So we'll see who comes out for Team AL here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And they have got to start scoring quick. It is going to be, as there's a swing and a foul ball by William Contreras. Cade Smith of the Cleveland Guardians, one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball. He's 28 out of 31 save opportunities. That's pretty good, and a 2.84 ERA. As his 0-1 pitch to Contreras is fouled out, a sweeper that caught a lot of the zone, but Contreras fouls it out of play, and the count is 0-2. William Contreras of the Milwaukee Brewers batting .282 this season. One of the best catchers in baseball as well. Hence, he's in this All-Star game. As the 0-2 pitch is a high pop-up. That one is going to right field. The right fielder is going to come in and make the catch for out number 1. And that is Tristan Peters in right field. He actually hit for the cycle the other day. I believe he was the second player behind this guy, Bryce Harper, to hit for the cycle this season. Now, so a little nice thing going there.
I have a little fun story. I was actually at the game back in, I believe it was 2012, in Washington. The Nats were hosting the San Diego Padres, and I was in the building to see Bryce Harper's first career home run.
Oh, really? That's amazing. As Bryce Harper batting .260, 20 home runs. The pitch is outside. I saw a sign there where it said Harper and Schwarber for president in 2028. They will definitely not be the president in 2028, but
that's
I like
quite a ticket.
Yep, as the 1-0 pitch to Bryce Harper is going to be a swing and a miss at a fastball right down the middle at 98 miles an hour, and the count is 1-1. And David, yes, we need as many base runners as possible. Not enough base runners for Team NL. It's all pitching from the windup, as there's a pitch low, and the count is 2-1. Cade Smith, he kind of looks like Tyreek Scuba when he pitches. He kind of, it's the same kind of funkiness I'm noticing. As Schwarber's actually filming this at bat on his phone. There you go. So 2-1 count to Bryce Harper. There's a strike at 99 miles an hour at the knees. And we're going to get the first challenge here.
Oh, yeah, we got an ABS challenge. Oh, he's going to lose that. That was definitely a strike.
Confirmed. It's 2-2. If it's overturned, it's 3-1. But that was right there for a strike. Almost the whole ball was in the zone. And it is a 2-2 count.
The NL loses one of their two allotted challenges in regulation.
Yep, I'm going to get your opinions there, Paul D, after this inning. As there's a swing and miss by Harper for a strikeout. My God, another strikeout for Team NL. 2 down, no one on. I'm going to get your opinions on the challenge system, because I always think that's a good debate this year, because they introduced it as you can see that grip there, that splitter grip, and that ball just died in the dirt. Just a nasty pitch by Cade Smith.
Yes, definitely.
And Harper was way out of front of that pitch. As here's Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll, probably the quickest player in baseball. He takes a called strike on a sweeper on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Corbin Carroll, he is the outfielder for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you know what? Us Giants fans would know, as the 0-1 pitch is fouled out of play. It's 0-2. He could have been a Giant. The Giants selected an outfielder just a few picks before Corbin Carroll was selected in the MLB draft. And here's a trivia question. If any of you know who that outfielder is, let me know. So 0-2 count to Corbin Carroll. Cade Smith is going to fire. There is a sweeper low, and the count is 1-2. I'm guessing, Paul D, you have no idea who it is. I don't expect you to
I can honestly say I do not know. No.
Yeah. We'll see if you know the name when I bring it up. So 1-2. The pitch is going to be a swing and a miss by Corbin Carroll, and he goes down on strike swinging. We go to the top of the 7th. 3-0 here, and all 3 runs came in the top of the first. It's been nothing since then. Just 1 hit for Team NL.
Indeed. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the top of the 7th inning, 3-0 AL. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. So there was a couple things here. Okay, Zim, dang Paul, you have so many amazing stories. That's cool. Well, I'm glad you appreciate them, Zim. It's just going to a lot of baseball games over 3+ decades. Every once in a while, you're going to see something interesting, something cool, something you want to tell your grandkids about, and apparently also share here in the chat. And I'm glad you appreciate them. All right, Jazz Wolf. Okay. Jazz Wolf, really cool guy over at Bombers Game Mike. As a retired nomad, I appreciate the channel a lot. Look forward to the next broadcast. You build a family here. I'm not the only one who's built a Jazz Wolf. There are so many people that have become regulars that just come back night after night, uniting under the banner of Cardinals baseball and good baseball more generally. And I consider myself profoundly lucky. It's almost the anti-internet. I say that now just inviting some, rando troll to come in and then get bounced by Justin. But it's one of those things where, like, I'll talk to Mrs. Game Mike after the game because she watches every game from the other room, and she follows along with the chat. She doesn't have the audio on her device because she can hear me through the walls. Now that says something, now doesn't it? But and I'll talk to her about it, and I'll say, this is really something incredible, and she she is very wise. It's one of the things that has always so attracted to her over nearly 20 years, and from the very first night we met. And at some point I'll tell you that amazing story. But ultimately, she pointed out 2 things. She said, one, Paul, there's a serious void here, and there's a serious need, but it's not all baseball. It's also community. People coming together every night and building relationships, in this case through the digital medium, and it makes a big difference in a lot of people's lives. And, keep doing it. And of course, the MVP of Bombers Game Mike is Kristen, Mrs. Game Mike, because she is willing to obviously, allow me these few hours every night. Though there are many times when she's sitting on the other side of the desk out of frame, just right there in person. So she's always there. So, Kristen, I know you're watching and listening right now. I love you. And this wouldn't be the same without you. All right, we're almost ready for the top of the 7th inning.
I just want to shout out my family as well, because it's 3 a.m. right now, and you said they can hear you through the walls. I know they do sleep, but I want to shout them out as well, because it gets very late.
And the first pitch from the lefty, Justin Robleski, the Dodger, the left-hander, 10-2 at 2.69 for a strike. Here's the pitch. A 4-seam fastball out of the zone, and the count is 1-1. It's a lefty-lefty matchup here against the lefty Travis Bazzana, 238, 7 home runs, 28 RBIs for Cleveland. The 1-1 pitch. Strike, slider on the inner third below the belt, and the count is 1-2.
Bazzana, the best Australian in all of baseball.
Common set is Robleski. He deals. Check swing on the sweeper down the way. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire. For the first out of the inning. Down on the check swing. And that'll be the first out. So Robleski comes in here, gets a strikeout swinging for the first out. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. 3-0 American League. All 3 runs coming in the top of the first for the AL. Nothing across so far for the National League. Coming set is Robleski. There's the first pitch to Rafaela. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 0-1. Rafaela, 281, 8 home runs, 39 IBIs. Lefty-righty matchup. Coming set below the belt is Robleski. The 0-1 pitch. Strike, slider on the outer third at the knees, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Rafael steps out of the box briefly. He looks on in, takes the bat off his shoulders. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down. Hacking goes Rafaela. For the second out of the inning, a couple of quick strikeouts by the southpaw, Robleski.
Yep.
For the first 2
Good pitcher,
outs.
Robleski.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's coming in, making his presence felt.
How he got in the All-Star game, Zach Wheeler didn't originally get in the All-Star game. He then got the nod.
The first pitch to Diaz. A curveball strike down Broadway below the belt, and the count is 0-1. It is the 26th birthday today for Justin Robleski. He deals a four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone to Diaz, and the count is 1-1. Diaz is 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the 5th. It's a lefty-righty matchup. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the outside corner. And the count is 1-2 strikes. So Robleski is 1 strike away from striking out the side here in the top of the 7th inning for the NL. He comes set below the letters. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled down the first base side and out of play on the slider on the outside corner. And the count remains 1-2.
On Robleski, yeah. Zach Wheeler, he got voted in the All-Star game on the 2nd round. He thought that was a disgrace. So he said, I ain't doing it, and this is why this guy is in the All-Star game.
Robleski wants the pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Diaz. For the 3rd and final out of the inning, Robleski strikes out the side in the 3 batters he faced coming in relief here for the NL. It is 7th inning stretch time down at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that means God bless America, and I owe you all something. As the storm clouds gather far across the sea, may we swear allegiance to a land that's free. May we all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a common prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Apologies on the last one, the voice is dying out. But I promised that I would do that for the Bombers Game Mic fan on the 4th of July. Internet access issues got in the way of that, and right now seem like the moment. I'll do it one more time, perhaps over the weekend when all the regulars can be there for it. But I owed you all that, and thank you so much for tolerating it. 3-0 American League going to the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D., joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes. And this is Bombers Game Mic. Let's go to the chat.
That was amazing. I don't know how to top that off now. I don't know what to say. I mean, I do a few things for 5 seconds, but nothing as good as that. So that was amazing.
I don't know how amazing. Well, ultimately, the only thing that can match that is at some point in the future when we do call a game again, you sing "God Save the King."
Yeah, all right, yeah, I'm down. That's a deal. I'll do that definitely next time we do it in the future. As even Harold gave you $5 for that beautiful song. So there we go.
Oh,
thank you,
really,
Harold?
You gave me $5 for doing that. Well, thank you so much for the $5 super chat from Harold. Thank you so much for your generosity, and Harold, and just in general being so supportive day after day, game after game for Bombers Game, Mike. I cannot thank you enough for that.
As Wilson says, can someone please hit a base hit? I want to hit from someone, anyone. I know just one hit right now for the National League. As here's Matt Olson leading off the inning, facing Drew Rasmussen. As there's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball above the zone for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Can the NL get back into this game? Right now, it's been pretty much nothing going on for a while in this game. As the 1-0 pitch is going to be high again, almost in the identical spot, and the count is 2-0. Matt Olson batting 267. He is Mr. Ironman nowadays because he's got the longest active streak without missing a game, as the 2-0 pitch is fouled out of play, and the count is 2-1. As they're interviewing Dave Roberts and John Schneider, both managers there in the dugout.
Thank you, Harold.
And as I said, that was definitely worthy of $5. As there's a swing and a miss by Matt Olson. That was a kind of check swing, but he did go around at a ball in the dirt, and the count is 2-2. We'll see if Matt Olson can reach here and get him a little bit of life into this lineup. As David, yes, just get on base, as that pitch is fouled out of play, and the count remains 2-2. Now, I know it's not easy, you only see these pitches once. They're the best of the best. That's why these games tend to be low scoring. Sometimes you get pitchers that don't care too much about the game, so their command's a bit iffy. But Team AO's on it, as there's a high fly ball. That one is going to be caught by the left fielder, Randy Arozarena, for out number 1. Arozarena wearing number 56, the former Tampa Bay Ray there, retiring the first out for a current Tampa Bay Ray in Drew Rasmussen. And they're showing the MVP vote. Paul D, who's been your star of the game so far? Not that many to choose from.
Well, I mean, the big guy so far, you got to say, is Bellinger. He's the one responsible for 2 of the 3.
Yep, as here's Otto Lopez of the Miami Marlins. He will swing and miss at the first pitch. Otto Lopez batting .334. As I said earlier, that leads all of baseball. The former Giant, and now doing it with Miami. And what a year he is having. As the 0-1 pitch to Otto Lopez is a swing and miss again at a cutter, and the count's 0-2. Otto Lopez, he doesn't strike out much, but that means he will strike out on this next pitch, because I put the jinx on him. As I guarantee Luis Ariz won't strike out when he gets around. As the 0-2 pitch to Otto Lopez is down and outside, another cutter there, and the count is 1-2.
In fact, Zim, I did see it. I was going to read it out at the half inning, so don't worry, I saw it, but I want to give it a proper response.
Yeah, there's not enough time in between pitches here. So 1-2 count to Otto Lopez. Drew Rasmussen at 9 pitches, as that pitch is way high, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And Otto Lopez, he had to move out of the way a little bit. It was never in danger of hitting him, but just that reaction and I can't think of the word right now, but that natural reaction as the 2-2 pitch is fouled out of play, and it remains 2-2. Even when it's not going to hit you, you see a ball at 98 miles an hour coming near you, you're going to get out of the way of it. So the count is 2-2. Otto Lopez, come on, let's get a base hit here. Let's get this party going. It's been a great stream with Bombers Game Mike and Paul D. He's a great dude.
I'm having a great
time. Really
fun.
As the 2-2 pitch to Otto Lopez by Drew Rasmussen is going to be a swing and miss at a sweeper, and he goes down swinging. So as I said, he doesn't strike out much, but he did there. So 2 down and another strikeout for the NL team. And right now it seems like a strikeout party for the NL.
Definitely. A lot of Ks, forwards, backwards, upside down, all the fun stuff.
As Luis Ariz is on deck, I can see there. So let's get on here for Luis Ariz. As the pitch to Spencer Stewart is a check swing and a pitch low. Did he go around? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire. And the count is 1-0. Spencer Stewart, he is a rookie on the Reds, a first baseman. He has got elite power to right centre field as he takes that pitch low, and it's 2-0. And you'll see it with a lot of these power guys. They can go opposite field to that centre field area for home runs. That's where a lot of these power guys. James Wood is another good example of where the power comes from. The 2-0 pitch is a close pitch, just low, and the count is 3-0. Spencer Stewart, let's see if he can get on here for Mr. Luis Ariz. All Ariz for Luis Ariz, we call him on Jolly Good Take. So 3-0 count here to Spencer Stewart as that pitch is right down the middle. As you're meant to do with a 3-0 lead is throw a strike. Make the batter hit the pitch instead of giving away a free base runner. And the count is 3-1. Drew Rasmussen, he's at 16 pitches. His 17th pitch is a swing and miss from Spencer Stewart. A cutter there at 89. That one hung up there for Spencer Stewart to hit. He was unable to make any contact, and it will be a full count with 2 outs here. Still just 1 hit for the National League. As the pitch to Stewart is a good cutter there, but a good take by Spencer Stewart. And that will be a walk. And finally, we've got a Giants player in the game. Get the ways in the chat, because finally, let's see if he can break the curse of this 1-hit action. And if there's anyone that can do it, Luis Ariz may be the guy to do it. Because he's got one of the best, if not the best, bat-to-ball skills in all of baseball. The Giant second baseman. As actually, we're going to get a pitching change. They're just teasing me at this point, Paul D. I have to wait even longer.
All right. Well, while we await the pitching change, let's go to the chat real quick. There's a couple things I want to address here. Okay, Zim. This I thought was really, really nice. Zim, I'll promise you something. If Giants and Cards games don't coincide, I'll certainly join your streams. This is incredible. You are a very inspiring person, Paul. This stream is absolutely incredible. Zim, I'm glad you're enjoying it so much. You know, the fact of the matter is a lot of folks that are the regulars on Game Mike here will hear me say this, which is to say that there is nothing else, there's no place I'd rather be, and there's nothing else I'd rather be doing right now. And the fact of the matter is, I know that I am so lucky to be doing this, and Zim, I'm glad you're digging it as much as you are. And here at Bombers Game Mike, you know, the Cardinal fans in the audience, we always welcome, you know, good fans of other teams, you know. Some people will come in here from other teams, spam the chat, swear, you know, get all nasty and whatnot, act like jackasses. They're not welcome. But someone like yourself, who's obviously very dedicated, very knowledgeable, you put a lot of good contributions in the chat. We love that stuff here on Game Mike. And so as far as we're concerned, you are always welcome here. So I look forward to seeing you again in the future. And, you know, I'm not at all surprised that you are a fan and follower of Liam here over at Jolly Good Takes, because I know for a fact he has very much the same kind of, I don't know, I guess the word we're looking for is tone going on, the same kind of spirit, and the people that go there and watch and listen to him call Giants games day after day. And boy, that's just as good as the game gets, isn't it? Yeah,
it's an amazing community. I just wanted to say, shout out to all the people that are in here from my stream as well, joining over on Bombers Game Mike. You're all amazing people. And I also want to say thank you, everyone, because we hit 150 subscribers the other day. So shout out to everyone that contributed to that.
And cheers to 150 subscribers, yes, my friend. I think that deserves a celebration play here.
And I also wanted to say congrats on 1,000 as well, Paul D. I know you hit that as well. As Luis Ariz is going to take the first strike, as he always takes the first strike. We say it's like he's playing on PlayStation on an MLB The Show, and the controller disconnects, and it's an automatic take on the first pitch. So the count is 0-1. Latz is the new pitcher of the Texas Rangers. That one is way high, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count is 1-1. Latz is a left-hander.
And thank you so much for the congratulations on 1,000. I have everybody here and many others to thank for that as well.
That's a 1.61 ERA. He will fire the pitch to Luis Ariz. There's a rare swing and a miss. And the count is 1-2. And Ariz, he loves to do this. He will take a trot around the umpire in a big circle before he gets back into the batter's box. Ariz wearing number 1. All Ariz for the Ariz, as it's a 1-2 count here. Lat at 3 pitches. He is going to fire a 1-2 count. Lat is going to fire the pitch, and that pitch is outside, and the count's 2-2. And what I would say is most impressive about him this season is not his batting, but his defense. He's been one of the best defenders in all of baseball, and he had a bad reputation coming into the year about defense. So 2-2 count here to Luis Ariz. Lat is going to fire, and the pitch is a swing and a miss, and a pitch way outside, and he goes down swinging and a little bit of a laugh. And I don't know what's happened to all the NL hitters, because he never strikes out. Luis Ariz, he goes down swinging as well. Good pitching change by John Schneider. We go to the top of the 8th. It is 3-0 NL, and I'm going to do this one, Bombers game. It's Liam from Jolly Good Takes, Paul D, and this is Bombers game, Mike. We are going to the top of the 8th.
I'm going to have to come back and record the audio off the times you did it, so that way I have it right there, so I can play it anytime I want in stream. All right, let's go to the chat. Well, Zim, credit where credit is due. You're welcome. I'm just calling them the way I see them, and that's what I see. That is what I see. All right, let's see here. Well, you know what, David? I really do hope that we get to see Jordan Walker in this game. I mean, it's not like he wasn't the guy who won the home run derby last night. Maybe you just want to give him a plate appearance here. You know, the only Cardinal that's made an appearance so far tonight is Riley O'Brien. We're still waiting on Walker and Herrera. You know, I'd like to see Ivan the Terrible do his thing, and that's terrible in a good way, for those of you not familiar. But we await the top of the 8th inning. Due up for the American League is Adley Rauschman, followed by Vargas, and then McGonigal. That's at least as it's currently constituted.
Yep. Adley Rutschman, he's having a bounce back here. I do like Adley Rutschman. Good to see him going back.
That is me, Zim. I just have to get around to actually using it. But thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitter /X/ whatever they're calling it nowadays. Whatever the kids are calling it. All righty.
Is it Ivan or Ivan Herrera?
It's Ivan Herrera, but I'm obviously playing it on the, the 16th century leader of the Grand Duchy of Moscow.
Yeah.
All those years ago, medieval Russia.
As Scott says, I think we'll see Walker in a big pinch hit opportunity if the NL can get some base runners. And Scott, it's the big if. Can the NL actually get some base runners for Jordan Walker to try and drive in?
We shall see. We shall see. But I'd like to see, at the very least, Jordan Walker to get an at-bat here, because he definitely deserves it. And, I mean, let's put it this way. As far as the Cardinal goes, and the Cardinal fans know this, Cardinals this year are obviously not getting much by way of national media attention. And when you're not getting national media attention, you're not getting all-star votes from outside of your core fan base. And so, Jordan Walker has a real claim. Now, we are here for the top of the 8th inning. 3-0 American League. Due up is Adley Rauschman, followed by Vargas and McGonigal. Due up, Robleski's still the pitcher, most recently shown in. But 3-0 American League here in the top of the 8th inning. Nobody on, nobody out.
And I tell you what, I like this move. He was so dominant in his first inning.
Yeah, Robleski out for his second frame. Up against the Oriole, Adley Rutschman. Here's the pitch. Strike, slider on the inner third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Adley Rutschman hitting .253 this year for the Orioles. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. A slider away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. 14 pitches so far for Robleski. They're having an in-game interview in center field with PCA. Now, the 1-1 pitch fouled down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball. And the count is 1-2. Adley Rauschman, 253, 8 home runs, 47 RBIs, a 763 OPS. It's a 1-2 count. Robleski, he comes set. And he gets back onto the rubber and comes set. Yeah. The 1-2. Hit down the third base side. Fielded there on a hop at short by Otto Lopez. He throws to first in time to get Rauschman at first for the first out of the inning. So Rauschman bounces out 6-3 for the first out.
Bob, to answer your question, England. That's to answer your question as well.
All righty. Back onto the bump is Robleski. Into the box is Vargas. Here's the pitch. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I couldn't care less what PCA has to say in center field just because I hate these things. The 1-0 pitch.
And you hate the Cubs.
A four-seam fastball on the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 2-0. I don't hate the Cubs, but let's put it this way. They don't rank like compared to the Red Sox or something.
Yeah.
The 2-0 hit down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is long gone. A solo home run to left field. And that will give the American League a 4-0 lead. Oh, that thing took forever to come down. My goodness gracious on that one. Miguel Vargas there going second deck out at Citizens Bank Park. And the American League has a 4-0 lead.
Yeah,
that was a umpire cam. Yeah, that was middle in, just below the belt. Man, I'm not convinced that came down in the same area code. My goodness, that was a home run derby type home run. Now the first pitch, McConnell fouled down the third base side and out of play, and the count is 0-1. So one already crossed here for the American League. First run scored in this game since the top of the first inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Robleski against McGonigal. It's an 0-1 count. He comes set below the letters. He comes one. The 0-1. Fouled straight back on the sweeper in, and the count is 0-2.
By the way, Roger, I saw your question. I don't live in the Bay Area. I live here in the UK. That's where I live.
Cheers. It's an 0-2 count. Lefty-lefty matchup. Coming set. The 0-2 pitch. Four-seam fastball low on the outside corner. The count is 1-2. 22 pitches so far for Robleski here in 1 1/3 innings pitched. Only blemish is that solo home run. He comes one. The 1-2. Foul tipped on the slider down and away. Just gets a piece of that one. Staying alive is McGonigal. Much like Methuselah, and the count is 1-2. Back into the box is McGonigal, the Detroit Tiger. Robleski, he comes one. He deals. Foul down the third base side, out of play on the sweeper away. Clocked 86 miles an hour out of the left hand of Robleski, and the count remains 1-2. No, it has nothing to do even with PCA, Liam. It's just, I hate these infield, in-game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're a distraction. Now, the 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2-2.
I think it's more for younger fans. That would be my guess for younger fans, this sort of style.
Reasonable enough. Robleski comes one. He deals. Swinging strike. 3 on the slider. Down and away. Dropped there by the catcher. He throws to first. And there's a strikeout swinging for the second out of the inning. So, nobody on with 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. 4-0 American League extended there on that solo home run to left.
By the way, I'm disappointed in all you guys in my channel. When there's a home run,
now the first pitch to the lefty Peters. Fouled down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 0-1. Peters, the left-hander, hitting .301 for the Southsiders. He gets back in the box. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Robleski comes one. He deals. Foul tipped on the slider away. And now Robleski is ahead of Peters. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 strike away from ending this top of the 8th for the American League. Looking in is Robleski. Comes set below the letters. He won the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Challenge immediately there by Peter. So he's using the last available ABS challenge to the NL. We have an ABS challenge outcome incoming. Called strike 3. Down goes Peter looking for the final out of the inning. He gets the old backwards K, Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic. So, 1 run on 1 very big hit. No walks and nobody left on. After 7.5 innings of play, it is 4-0 American League going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes. And this is Bombers Game Mic. 4-0 AL going to the bottom of the 8th. Let's go to the chat.
As Zim, you got it right. Yeah, boom, boom, baseball. Whenever there's a home run hit, we call it boom, boom, baseball.
Oh, boom, boom, baseball. I'm gonna have to remember that.
Yeah. As it's running. It's getting late for Team NL. They've got to start putting some runs across here. As a David rally cap time. You know, David, it's funny you say that. Sometimes I do put on a rally cap, but for the All-Star Game, I'm not going to do that. But I do like rally caps.
Roger Baseman, Tucson checking in. Beast mode on display last night. Awesome Jordan Walker. Roger Baseman checking in from the surface of the sun. He has entered the chat. Good to see you, Roger. I'm glad you enjoyed the home run derby so much last night. Liam, Roger Baseman is one of our originals here on Game Mic from some of the earliest Cardinal streams back in May. Been one of our first citizens here on Game Mic. Really just a fantastic character. Brings so much to it. It's good to see you, Roger. I hope you're having a good week.
Shout out to you, Roger. Nice to meet you as well. As Bob, I really became in love with the Giants in 2014, to answer your question as well. And Zim, you want me to sing Boom Boom Baseball? Since Paul D did sing God Bless America, and mine's only 5 seconds, I can do it. All right. When Liam streams your game, it's Boom Boom Baseball. High, deep, and never coming back. I mean, that was kind of singing, kind of speaking. A little bit of a mix in there. But there you go. So Boom Boom Baseball, 4-0 NL. AL.
I thought you were singing. I thought you were singing Ryan Stanek's personal anthem. Oh goodness.
No. That's I just came up with that. I thought Boom Boom Baseball. It's kind of Giants. They do Bye Bye Baby when they hit a home run.
I was listening to that actually just last night.
Yeah, so I thought I'd do a little differently. I'd do Boom Boom Baseball for every home run the Giants hit, or if it's a neutral game, then I do it for either team. As David, what was your question you were going to ask Liam? Well, I have no idea. As Harold, Harold, as Louis Varland is coming in here for the Toronto Blue Jays, of the Toronto Blue Jays for Team AL, as he will throw a 100-mile-an-hour sinker high and outside, and the count is 1-0. And James Wood is the batter for the Team NL of the Washington Nationals, as the 1-0 pitch by Louis Varland is going to be a four-seam fastball in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. James Wood, talking of guys that hit that opposite field power, James Wood has got a whole lot of it, as the 1-1 pitch here to James Wood is going to be foul out of play. A changeup at 93, and Louis Varland, he is pumping it into the strike zone. A sinker at 100, a changeup at 93. You didn't see that 30 years ago. So it's a 1-2 count here to James Wood. As Varland in the windup, he will fire the pitch. There's a nasty knuckle curve there in the dirt, and James Wood's just able to lay off that pitch. And the count is 2-2.
Something I'm really happy to see is how widely the knuckle curve is being adopted around baseball in this current generation of pitchers. Mike Mussina, of course, the godfather in the knuckle curve.
As 2-2 pitch to James Wood is outside, and it's a full count here, 3-2. And the NL really need James Wood to get on base here if they're going to come back in this game. So 3-2 count. Louis Varland is the pitcher for 4-0 AL in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch is a called strike 3. That one's a knuckle curve down the middle, and that will be out number 1. And another strikeout, a backwards K this time. So 1 out here.
Alrighty. Speaking of England, there was a St. Louis pitcher that was born in England. Which one was it, Edgar? I'm curious.
I tell you, I always want to know players that are born in England because there's not many. And hopefully one day, like Travis Bazzana from Australia, we get a player that is a top prospect. Is Pete Crow Armstrong will foul that pitch off, and count is 0-1. PCA, I'm pretty sure he leads the National League in WAR, tied with Shohei Ohtani. That's how good he is, batting .291. As the 0-1 pitch to PCA is going to be a ground ball. That one's going to get through for a base hit for Pete Crow Armstrong. So a 1-out knock, a single. And that will be just the second hit of the game for the National League. And they need a few more of those. As Wilson, a hit. We got a hit. It's a miracle. And then Paul D was not slagging PCA off, but was slagging the commentary
Wilson, that's funny.
By PCA off.
A hit. We got a hit. And from PC AAA. Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. So it's going to be a runner at first, 1 out at the bottom of the 8th, and the batter is going to be Hunter Goodman as he hits a little blue that's straight to the shortstop, Kevin McGonigal, who will catch it and record the second out. So it's 4-0 here, 2 outs. PCA, he did well there. When there's a line drive like that, you're taught to freeze, not move, and he froze, and he got back to the first base bag safely.
Did I see the dono? Well, let me go back. I remember the last one was from Harold. I most definitely called that out. Let me go back, see if I missed something.
So here's Cardinal, Paul D.
Yes, here comes Ivan Herrera. The part-time catcher, part-time DH, the right-hander, steps into the box. Runner on first with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-0 American League is getting late quick here for the National League squad. He gets into the box. He will face the righty Varland. It's a righty-righty matchup. Herrera's hitting .249. The first pitch. A four-seam fastball outside ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Ivan Herrera, who I was very happy to see as a late addition to the All-Star team, even though the guy that really should be here right now is undoubtedly J.J. Weatherall. Now the 1-0 pitch, hit to the left side, picked up there at third. He throws to second to get the force for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs on 1 hit, no walks, and 1 left on. After 8 full innings of play, it is 4-0 AL over the National League, going to the top of the 9th inning. I'm Paul D., joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes. And if you have not subscribed to Liam of Jolly Good Takes, what are you waiting for? Go do it right now. And if you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. I very much appreciate it, and it certainly helps out the channel, even when it's not specifically a Cardinal game. And with that said, I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. 4-0 AL going to the top of the 9th.
By the way, I said, can we get 50 likes? We got 50 likes, so shout out to everyone that helped us reach our goal at the start of the stream.
Absolutely.
Forgot what I was going to say. Does that ever happen to you, Paul D? You're going to say something and then you forget what you're going to say. That always happens
all
to
the
me.
Time. All the time.
Yep.
And Zim, as far as the dono you're referring to, I'm not sure which one you are referring to. My apologies if I missed something. That's certainly not a habit that I try to, have. So if I miss something, obviously bring it to my attention, because that's something I obviously want to recognize flat out. So
I think he's trying to donate, and he's just asking if it's coming through.
Oh, I haven't seen anything yet. No, Zim, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that, just clarify. It was the 2. It was 1 at the start, and then Harold, for your amazing singing, Paul D.
Oh, thank you. Due up for the AL in the top of the 9th inning is Murakami, followed by Arazarena, and then Bazzana. That's at least who is penciled in here in the top of the 9th for the American League.
I forgot. I remember what I was going to say. So to answer the question I asked earlier about who we drafted instead of Corbin Carroll, it was Hunter Bishop.
No
an
kidding.
Outfielder.
And
if
Zim,
anyone's familiar with that name.
And Zim, I appreciate the sentiment all the same. I really do. And thank you so much. All the same. Jazz Wolf. I do not forget what I was doing. So frustrating, old timers. Yeah, Jazz, I know exactly how you feel on that one. I really do. Never donated in YouTube before. I think I'll try and set it up again before your next stream, Paul. My sincere apologies. You have nothing to apologize for, Zim. I really appreciate, like I said, the sentiment, to be sure. And like I said, you've been wonderful, and we'd love to have you here on Game Mike. You're always welcome here, by all means. And just as a broadcasting note, Friday night, first game of the second half for the Cardinals, they will be in Arizona. It'll be an 8:40 p.m. Central start time. I'll be live here on Game Mike at 8:30 p.m. Central start time. We are here for the top of the ninth inning, 4-0 American League. And do we got ourselves a Mason Miller showing? We do. The first pitch to Murakami. Strike, four-seam fastball swung right through it. Did the Southside Samurai. Mason Miller, 25 saves in 25 attempts, a 0.91 ERA. It's a righty-lefty matchup. He comes set at the belt. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the inner third about thigh high, and the count is 0-2. Man, Mason Miller is just nasty. Murakami, 232 with 20 home runs, 42 RBIs, halfway through his rookie season. The 0-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. So nobody on, nobody out. Top of the ninth inning, 4-0 American League over the NL. No scoring tonight for the National League squad. Coming set at the belts, Miller. The 1-2. Swinging strike three. Down swinging goes Murakami. For the first out of the inning. Oh, boy.
Good luck trying to get a hit off this guy.
Mason Miller just came in there and overpowered Murakami. Now, here comes Dave Robert. He's going to the righty out of the bullpen. So one batter is all we get to see of Mason Miller, and boy, was it memorable. Nobody has made Murakami look bad like that all year, but Mason Miller is making everyone look bad. So we have ourselves a pitching change.
And you know what? I know. I like that from Dave Roberts. You don't want him to blow out his arm in the All-Star Game. Just give him one. Now, as much as we'd like to see him for more than
as
one
a Yankee fan, of course, Dave Roberts has a very, very different significance than he would as the manager of the Dodgers to the Giants and the rest of the National League. Of course, he's the one that had that fateful steal of second base there in Game 4 of the 2004 ALCS up at Fenway, where then Bill Miller hit that single right up the middle, the seeing eye single to center field that scored Dave Roberts and tied the game and very much changed the course of baseball history in the process. One of the most important plays in the 2004 Red Sox ultimate journey, not to simply come back down 3-0 in the best of 7 in the ALCS that year, but to break up and end the curse of the Bambino after 86 years. That is something that, as a Yankee fan, that I remember with great clarity. And Liam, you are very, very mature for your age. And you're a pleasure to spend time with and certainly call a game with. And it makes me just stunned to think that happened 2 years before you were born.
I know. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, really. I mean, look, I'm no different to you guys, though. Even if I was born a little bit later, I still love the history of baseball. And I know all the guys. Well, I shouldn't say all. I know most of the guys you're talking about, of course. I just wish I was around to watch the steroid era live, because you know what? Everyone says bad things about steroids, but
those are some long home runs, man.
Yeah, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, those guys. That was crazy back in the day. Now, you know what, though? I'm just happy I'm allowed to watch guys like Shohei Ohtani. I said it earlier. The fact
we're very fortunate to have that kind of thing happen in our lifetime.
All right, I don't know if the chat knows this, but Paul D, who is your favourite baseball player of all time? There's a question.
Oh, Mariano Rivera. All right, we're back here after the pitching change. There is one out with nobody on. In comes Duran, the righty for Philadelphia. And fouled back on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is 0-1 to Arozarena. Johan Duran, 24 saves and 25 attempts at 1.38. Righty-righty matchup, the 0-1 pitch. Hit on out there into center field and through for a base hit. So a one-out single by Arozarena, and now that'll give the American League a runner on first with one out here in the top of the ninth inning. 4-0 AL here late. And if you're just joining us, 3 runs in the top of the first inning for the American League. And then, of course, back in the top of the 8th, that solo home run to left. That's the extent of the scoring. Now, Duran's back onto the bump. In is the lefty Bazana. Righty-lefty matchup with the runner on first. First pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Arez. He throws to second one. And that's all they'll get is the force at second. So he will reach on the fielder's choice. And now there's a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the 9th inning for the American League. And Duran, average fastball velocity this year, 100.2 miles per hour, just behind Mason Miller. Up in the AL pen is the lefty Aroldis Chapman, the closer for Boston. Now here's Rafaela, righty-righty matchup. He deals, hit to the right side, picked up there by Arez. He throws to first in time to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. Last licked for the National League going to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is 4-0 American League here in the Midsummer Classic. Last 3 outs for the National League. I'm Paul D, joined by Liam of Jolly Good Takes, who you should subscribe to yesterday. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat.
Yeah, no, if you like velocity, then you're going to like this 9th inning. Miller and Aroldis Chapman. And then I've already forgot the guy that just pitched. Yohan Duran. If you like velocity, then you've got it here. All these guys for 100 miles an hour.
I have an interesting question for you, Liam. Do you remember or know about, in Giants history, the infamous mascot, the Crazy Crab?
You know what? I do, because they have Crazy Crab sandwiches now at the ballpark.
Okay. Well, the reason I say that is Jeff Pearlman, most notable from his time back writing for Sports Illustrated back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He has a really good YouTube channel called Press Box Chronicles. And he tells a lot of stories about athletes from all of the major sports. And he does it really, really well. And one of the stories he told was about the ill-fated Crazy Crab from 1984, Press Box Chronicles. You got to check it out on YouTube. It's both hilarious and at the same time, there's also a definite melancholy to it. But for all the Giants fans out there that are not familiar with the Crazy Crabs, go look up Press Box Chronicles with Jeff Pearlman about the Crazy Crab. I think he released it maybe a month and a half ago. A very entertaining, maybe 20, 25-minute watch. In fact, Liam, after the stream is done, I'll send you the link to it on WhatsApp.
All right, yeah.
So you can see
I just wrote his name down, but perfect, yeah.
It's all right, Zim. Zim, you have done more than a donation. You have been a wonderful addition here. And I look forward to getting to know you better when you decide to come around and watch some Cardinal baseball, even when they're not playing the Giants. We'd love to have you aboard.
Yep, as we are ready for the bottom of the 9th and the final inning here of the 2026 MLB All-Star Game.
And you have the call, my young friend.
Yeah, let's hope for some runs. Come on, Team NL. We're meant to be an NL team, and we've not got anything. As Aroldis Chapman, he's 19 for 21 in saves. He's got a 2.2 ERA, and he's the all-time strikeout leader by any reliever in baseball history. What a career for Aroldis Chapman, and he's still just as good as he was early in his career as he is now. As there's a swing and miss, and Paul G, do you want to take over for me? Because it's Jordan Walker, the batter.
Jordan Walker, 294, 22 home runs, 74 RBIs. This is a lefty-righty matchup. It's 0-1 count. He swung and missed on the breaking ball down and away. Coming set is Chapman, the 0-1. A splitter downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Jordan Walker, right fielder from St. Louis. He is turning it on in his career, his third-year player. Coming set is Chapman. He deals. A sinker down and away and out of the zone for a ball. Clocked 98 miles an hour out of the left hand of Chapman. And the count is 2-1. Jordan Walker, the home run derby champion last night, knocking off Kyle Schwarber with the big comeback win. He wins a 2-1. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball up and away, 94 miles an hour, and the count is 2-2. I believe it was Bob Costas that had the call last night on Netflix, and they all kept going on. He has ice in his veins. All I'm doing is sitting there thinking, yeah, I knew that 3 months ago. Come and set Chapman. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Jordan Walker for the first out of the inning. Liam, you have the rest.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no whistle, please, as well for the Walker. Can't do the whistle on the Cardinals.
No, I'm not
players.
going to do that to him.
Yeah, as I tell you, another strikeout. I mean, this is strike. If you like strikeouts, then you'll like the pitching from the AL today. Here's Matt Olson up for the NL. He is, I believe, 0 for 1, if they show it. Yep, 0 for 1 for Matt Olson. As the Aroldis Chapman will fire, and he hits that one. That one is going to be caught by the shortstop, Kevin McGonigal, for out number 2, and he goes down quickly. He said, enough of this. I'm just going to get on my way and end my day. So that is two outs for Aroldis Chapman. And there's 1 out left in this game. And we're going to get a pitching change here. So
there's going to be a pitching change.
And the Tampa Bay Ray guy is going to come in here.
Yes, indeed.
As Aroldis Chapman, his day's done.
2/3 of an inning, no runs, no hits, no walks. And that's the night for Aroldis Chapman. So the AL is going to the bullpen for the final out. And I promise, Game Mikeaholics, my wife came up with that, I like it. Game Mikeaholics, my voice will be ready and raring to go come Friday night with the Redbirds in Arizona. It's a scheduled 8:40 p.m. Central start time. I'll be live here on Game Mike at 8:30 p.m. Central for the play-by-play stream as the Cardinals kick off the second half in search of a wild card spot in the National League. Let's see if they can play some meaningful baseball late into September.
Yep. And MVS Mario, you bet the under of 8.5, so you've loved how this turned out. You are definitely going to win that bet unless we see the comebacks of comebacks here.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting how they came up with that over-under. Who's pitching for the Cardinals? That's a good question. Let me see if they have that announced. All right, let's find out. Okay, so
who's the Cardinals' best pitcher this year, by the way?
Well, I think it's a reasonable toss-up between McGreevy and Palante.
Yeah.
They both pitch extremely well. You know, the problem in the case of McGreevy is he so infrequently gets proper run support, with the exception of his last start on his birthday. So, we await the pitching change, folks.
1 out left for the National League. By the way, guys, just a little biased here. If you are going to watch the game in the World Cup tomorrow, please do cheer on England. We need everyone's support as we're trying to make it to the first World Cup final in 60 years. Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to come on here and say it's coming home, all that crap. You know what? I will only sing that when it actually does. So we are we're about to get back underway here as the pitch to Otto Lopez is going to be a called strike. And that will be the first pitch by Brian Baker, who's got a 1.73 ERA. He's 25 out of 28 saves for the Rays and a big part of that bullpen. A 0-1 pitch to Otto Lopez is their line drive to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to be a 2-out single. As Otto Lopez, he leads MLB in batting average, and he just showed there, Paul D, the opposite field approach.
Keeping him alive. Otto Lopez is such a pesky batter. Back when the Cardinals dropped 2 of 3 back at Busch a couple of weekends ago, Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards were just absolute nightmares.
Yep. As he is Sal Stewart. He is going to take the first pitch for a cool strike on the outside corner. And the count is 0-1. Pretty Gal is Shea Langoliers in the game. He is no longer in the game. He did begin the game, but he is now out. So it is a 0-1 count here to Sal Stewart as Baker will fire the pitch. There's a half swing. And that is what we call a sword. because he got a sort of a swing there, and the count is 0-2.
Yeah.
As Otto Lopez, you know what? You're not going to see him steal a base here. So 0-2 count to Sal Stewart. Baker trying to close this one out for Team AL. He will fire. There's a weak ground ball back to Baker. Baker's going to field it. He's going to throw it over to first, and that is going to end the game. Team AL shuts out the NL. They win 4-0 as the game was basically done after the first inning, as that's the first shutout since 2013 when the AL won 3-0, Paul D.
And even though the NL lost, the game of baseball won tonight. And that means a victory tune. 4-0 AL is your final here in the Midsummer Classic. Play your air guitar to celebrate the great American national pastime.
Thanks everyone that joined as well. We do appreciate it.
4-0 AL is your final here in the Midsummer Classic. We'd like to thank you all so much for joining us here, both the Jolly Good Takes crowd as well as the Bombers Game Mikeaholics. It is always a pleasure to spend an evening with you and celebrating the game of baseball here in the middle of July. Baseball's annual holiday at any day, and I declare it. This has been a special presentation of Bombers Game Mike. 4-0 AL over the National League is your final. A programming note coming up here on Bombers Game Mike. The second half for the St. Louis Cardinals resumes on Friday night out in Arizona at Chase Field, where the Cardinals are taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. It is an 8:40 p.m. Central start time. I will be live here on Game Mike for the play-by-play stream here at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So 8:40 p.m. Central Time, scheduled first pitch for the Friday night game in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. I'll be live here for the play-by-play stream on Game Mike at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And we'd like to thank you all so much for joining us. For Liam of Jolly Good Takes, I'm Paul D. This has been Bombers Game Mike.
Can I just do one last thing as well before we...
By all means.
Before we end it. My tradition is I shout everyone out in the chat. So I'm just going to shout all you guys out before we end it, because that's a tradition. So Spencer, THR Phil, Insane, Wilson, Zim, Jazz Wolf, Harold, David, Savvy. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Pretty Girl, everyone that joined. NBS Mario. Shout out to all you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening as well. And yes, as Paul D says, baseball is the winner. It's America's greatest sport, in my opinion, as well.
Cheers to that. This has been
I just want to say thank you for having me on, Paul D, as well.
Thank you so much
it's
for being here.
It's been an amazing stream.
I really enjoyed this, even more than I thought I would. And I really thought it was going to be great, so it's saying a lot. This has been a special presentation of Bombers Game Mike. 4-0 American League over the NL is your final. The American League shuts out the senior circuit 4-0. This has been a special presentation of Bombers Game Mike and Jolly Good Takes. Bombers Game Mike, over and out. Be well, both to you and yours, wherever you may be. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. I'll see you on Friday night for the beginning of the second half. I'm Paul D. for Liam of Jolly Good Takes. Be well, everybody. Good night.